Please report it for cyberbullying.
What other evidence do you need that is deplatforming other than her saying go report the video?
Yeah.
This post doesn't say anything about deplatforming. This post asks her followers to report the video.
He just lied.
That's still not deplatforming. That's step 1 to deplatforming. As I said before,
That's so...
I never accuse you of doxing her. I never accuse you of calling for her doxing either. Think before you dox is a play on words about the fact that she got doxed and the fact that Sean's channel was a
yeah,
part
but
of it.
obviously if you see that fucking title, why
I
can't
don't
these...
understand how these guys are the most academic people in the world who will give you a 27-page essay about what a microaggression is. Well, if you go up to a person and you say, your hair is curly today, they've got like 15 different academic papers that they can give you for why you're basically fucking Hitler and you're engaging in colorism and you're exclusionary and you are and doing microaggressions and there's a black tax on certain hair products. And it's like all these 50 million things. But then when it comes to like criticism of his behavior, it's like, well, did I actually say the actual word? You wanna know how stupid this guy is?
We're gonna go through the most pressing drama in the culture war right now. It involves a large anti-woke YouTuber and a large leftist YouTuber, one of which you have experience with. Big drama. People have been waiting for you to watch this. So, I've been following this drama. Noah Samsen and Think Before You Sleep.
Wow.
Have a long history of hating each other, of making videos responding to each other.
Give us some details. Who are both these people?
Think Before You Sleep is I wouldn't say right wing, but like an anti-woke YouTuber.
Okay.
He makes videos basically going after people like Noah Samsen, on stuff like fat acceptance or forced diversity, stuff like that.
Wow.
Versus Noah Samsen is a leftist YouTuber, so he makes videos. I think he's made videos about you.
Indeed.
And he's made a bunch of videos about a bunch of different people. I think he probably supportive of a lot of people on the left. I don't know, Hassan Pike or something, I would guess. But they have this drama because of a situation with another YouTuber.
You may notice a random child.
Who's not a political YouTuber, really. She just makes, I don't know, I'd say more silly, somewhat, I guess you could call it social commentary, but they're like just like little animated storytime videos or whatever. I think Jaden Animations chat. And Think Before You Sleep made a video about her. Unfortunately, she ended up getting doxxed by a third-party site. And Noah Samsen has now made this video as well as another follow-up video. Now, I don't think we have to watch the entire thing. This one we probably should watch half of it.
Okay. All right. We got it. Hold on. Wait. Let me hear this.
Throughout the video, that's me. That's me as a boy. It's my new little voiceover avatar.
Okay. You can hear it? You're good?
Yep.
All right. Are you ready?
You may notice a random child throughout the video. That's me. That's me as a boy. It's my new little voiceover avatar thing. I'm trying that out. Hope it's not terrible. Okay. On December 21st of last year, the storytime animation YouTuber illymation released a video called Perks of Being the Fat Kid. 2 months later, the anti-woke YouTube channel Think Before You Sleep, hereafter referred to as Sean, hi Sean, responded to Illy's video in a video titled Fat Acceptance Cartoon. Right after Sean posted this response,
It's your stream.
the comment section on Illy's video went through some changes. It was flooded with hate comments, threats, insults, inflammatory accusations, also a lot of anti-Semitism, so that's kind of weird. When one of her followers reached out on Tumblr to ask if she'd seen the video, Illy replied, and after expressing frustration about the harassment she was receiving, she ended the post by asking her followers to report the video. In response to this one Tumblr post, Sean made a whole new video, Woke YouTuber is trying to deplatform me, in which he accused Illy of leading a campaign of targeted harassment
Campaign
and mass flagging
campaign against me. Mass flagging campaign. Mass flag his channel. Mass flagging
against him and his smaller channel.
Deplatform a smaller creator. Harass a much smaller creator
In order to deplatform him.
Deplatform me. To try and get me deplatformed.
And take away his source of income.
Take away my source of income.
The only evidence he has provided for any of these accusations is that one Tumblr post. This new video from Sean brought Illy even more
targeted harassment,
which culminated in her receiving death threats, rape threats, and being doxxed. For her safety, she was forced to leave her home state, breaking the lease on her apartment, which cost her over $10,000 in legal fees. Sean, meanwhile, made out.
Can I just a quick thing? When people are like forced to leave, like really, were you? Or did you get like one comment on Twitter DMs and you were like, I'm gonna move out of my apartment now?
I think this is always the thing that I'm perplexed about as somebody who like has been doing YouTube stuff and has like been doxxed. Generally, like nothing happens.
Yeah. But okay,
like
whatever.
Like generally nothing comes of it. Not to say that it's like a good thing to do to someone or like they shouldn't feel scared or whatever. But generally you're not. I don't know if you're forced to leave. You choose to leave. Oh, whoa!
Don't worry about what I'm opening in my monitor. Keep going.
That person definitely needs to be banned. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think part of the reason he put that in there is kind of add to the narrative. I think Before You Sleep cost her, but we can keep watching.
out with a slightly better deal. 3 videos, 2.3 million views, 40,000 new subscribers, made out with the lease threats, rape threats, and being doxxed. For her safety, she was forced to leave her home state, breaking the lease on her apartment, which cost her over $10,000 in legal fees. Sean, meanwhile, made out with
What is $10,000 in legal fees? Do you have to pay a lawyer to break a lease also? That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I don't know.
It's bullshit.
I don't know what that
bullshit.
means.
I do know. It's bullshit.
a slightly better deal. 3 videos.
Could it be the
2.3
legal
million
fees are
views.
related to?
No, it's bullshit.
Did somebody like try to come to her house or something?
I think actually it's bullshit.
40,000 new subscribers, and a big stack of
What do you mean,
Google
like, just a
AdSense
lie?
money. There's so much that I want to talk about from this situation. I want to talk about how Sean spends a good amount of his video insulting Illy's appearance under the guise of giving her tips on how to be more attractive.
She could easily be considered attractive by most people if she just stopped wearing those grandma glasses, picked better clothes, learned how to by most people.
Okay, wait, just as a quick thing before we get into it. First of all, this cat is adorable. Wait, this woman is attractive here, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, she's cute. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, jeez, but okay.
If she just stopped wearing those grandma glasses, picked better clothes,
This part
learned
of
how
his
to
video
style
is
her
like
hair
mad
instead of
cringe.
always leaving it flat to her head with maximum forehead showing, and watched some makeup tutorials.
I want to talk about how he spent what must have been
Grimace shake.
hours digging around her social media accounts to find photos of her eating junk food and of her body at a time when she weighed less in order to accuse her of lying about her diet.
So now I have to do some investigating to find out what Alyssa's eating habits are. After scrolling down through her community tab, the only thing I was able to see her eating was ice cream. Strike one.
I want to talk about how he had to lie for a lot of these insults, like how the very next post on her community tab after the milkshake
was
thing
awesome.
showed her holding a bag of wheat bread, or how the photo he used to insult her fashion sense by saying she dresses like a homeless person.
Holy shit, that is bad. This girl has millions of followers, yet if you saw her out in public, you'd be afraid that she's about to pester you for spare change.
Was taken while she was hiking, and Sean knew that, but cropped out the identifying information so that his audience wouldn't, the less perceptive ones anyway, given that she's identified.
Okay, I have no stake in
Was
this game
taken
at all.
while-
Okay, I don't know, because I don't know, but it is, this guy, why would you pick this picture? It's retarded.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Okay, yeah.
She was
I think
hiking,
Maurice
and
fucked
Sean
that up.
knew that, but
Yeah.
cropped out the identifying information so that his audience wouldn't, the less perceptive ones anyway, given that she's, sitting on a log in dirt. I want to talk about all that, but I have to shelve those points for now because there's a more pressing issue at hand, which is that Sean's videos caused a doxing. On the internet, things like doxing and harassment are often treated as natural law. Mean comments are inevitable. Even if you ask people not to, they'll still leave them. If people are going to take things too far, like doxing, then there's not much you can really do to stop it. This seems to be Sean's perspective on the matter.
This comment brigading behavior appears to just be a fact of nature that creators can't control. So really, it's on YouTube to make an interface change that addresses this problem.
The only real exemption from this excuse seems to be when a creator directly asks their audience to harass or dox someone. If that doesn't happen though, then sorry, it's the internet. Now, while that may be the case in some situations, this is not one of them. Sean didn't ask anyone to dox or harass Illy. What he did do, though, is misrepresent and deceptively edit her video in order to conjure ideas which directly motivated the people who did. And when I say directly, I mean directly. We doxed Illy because she tried to get another popular content creator, Think Before You Sleep, taken down by YouTube, all because he made a video right.
Okay, hold on. Okay, initially, the way that this timeline is presented is it sounds like he made a video about her, and because of the video that he made, people doxed her. But now it sounds like he's saying that he made a video about her, she got mad at the video and tried to get it taken down, and then now people are doxing her because of that. What's the real timeline?
That is basically the correct timeline, yes. But I think it's kind of silly to draw a through line and say that because of him making his video, she got doxxed.
It sounds like the reason why she got doxxed is because she tried to take that video down.
According to these people, yes.
Rightfully criticizing her, she is also promoting fat culture and how being fit and working out your body is useless and fatphobic. She also promotes that's an anti-trans slur, and woke culture. That was posted on the website that hosted Illy's doxing information. The actual doxing took place on a different website, and the very first post of the original doxing thread shared these same motivations. We need to dox her because she promotes fat culture, she believes in woke bullshit, and when a based YouTuber like Think Before You Sleep called her out, she threw a fit and asked her fans plans to mass flag his channel to get it deleted. The people harassing her in the comments are motivated by these same ideas. Illy is woke, Illy wants to deplatform Sean, and Illy promotes obesity. These accusations are being repeated
This is like one of the dumbest guys on YouTube. Oh God. Okay.
across the internet in videos with millions of collective views. They pervade the docs.
Are we still doing this? It's 2024 and we're like taking posts on 4chan and saying that like because he made the video and because these people don't like her for the same reasons he doesn't like her. It gets better than this, right? He's got like better material. He's getting to better material, I'm sure.
There will be more interesting stuff. I don't know if it's better material.
Okay, we'll see.
But I mean, that is basically like the frustrating thing about the situation, which is that, and the comments from his channel seem to agree that because, in Noah's opinion, Think Before You Sleep misrepresented Illy, that she got doxxed, and therefore he should be held accountable. And I actually
it's not even 4chan, it's Soy Jack. I don't even know what that is, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually talked to Noah about this in DMs, and he was like, I don't understand how everybody thinks that, I'm pro deplatforming, when all I said is that, basically, like, here's, basically this person who got her doxxed, and, like, I think YouTube should do whatever they want, is what he says. And I'm like, well, obviously, when you, like, draw a line like that, saying, like, Think Before You Sleep makes a video that gets her harassed, and YouTube can do whatever they want, and it's justified for Illy to want it taken down. Like, you're promoting deplatforming. Like, some of the arguments he makes in this are straight up retarded. Like, he's like, well, she just wanted that one video down. YouTube is a 3-strike system, so it wasn't technically deplatforming. It was just taking down that one video.
Okay.
Like, it's very
sprinkled
frustrating.
between a sea of death threats, rape threats, and depictions of Illy committing suicide. These ideas are the reason they hate her, and all of them, every single one, was fabricated by Sean. How he did this is the topic of today's video, so let's check it out. Alright, so the first one of these narratives that I want to look at today is the idea that Illy promotes obesity. One of the main concluding points of Sean's video is that Illy's advice is going to kill people by causing them to eat themselves into an early grave.
You know what's great about this advice? Because you conflated being overweight with extreme obesity, so you could say that both are healthy, what's going to happen is that people who watch this video that are 300 pounds are going to say, see, Alyssa is fine with being overweight, I don't have to change either. And then they'll eat themselves into an early grave.
Can I just also do one quick thing? Because I understand, I don't know what this content creator does if he literally like scrapes like the bottom of the fucking barrel for the bravest positions he can take, which is shitting on fat people, which is like, congratulations. There is not a single fat person in the history of all of mankind who thinks they're healthy or doesn't think they're healthy and then watches a YouTube video and it's like, oh, maybe I am healthy. Like if you're obese as fuck, you smell bad, you've got weird rashes, your joints ache, you can't run, you can't walk upstairs without like heaving and breathing, your doctor shit on you, your friends shit on you, like it's bad. Like there is this weird myth created online.
You don't think there are some delusional people out there?
And there are some people that think they're Jesus and they jump off balconies. But the idea that this is like a measurable thing in society, like a lot of people like, oh yeah, like being fat is actually awesome.
I don't think it's like a super widespread thing.
It's a huge cope, and they know they're coping. They're not like, I don't think there's a measurable group of people like actually deluding themselves into thinking this.
I mean, there's like big Facebook groups. So basically the way it is just on the internet, anyone can congregate around a retarded idea, right? So like every delusional person who has this idea is going to go online and then it looks like there's a larger thing than there is.
Sure. But they'll like just cope about it.
Yeah.
But they're not like actually thinking like, oh yeah, like I think I am going to stay fat. Like this is a great idea now. Like they were probably always,
I don't know.
Maybe. But like when we say some of them, I mean like you can find people online that like to do anything. The people like this act like it's this huge social problem. Like a ton of people are going to be fat because of like YouTube videos talking about like fat. I just think it's like really cringe. I don't think it's a huge thing. Yeah.
Okay. Note that it's not just it might happen. He said that it's going to happen. So it's sort of a direct accusation there, just so we're clear about that. Now, that's a pretty serious accusation, right? So how does he justify it? Well, right before it, he presents what he calls Illy's final piece of advice and uses that as evidence to argue that she is promoting obesity.
All right, let's see Alyssa's final piece of advice.
A carrot isn't an inherent good food, while chocolate is an inherent bad food. Food is just food. No matter how many calories, carbs, sugars, you should feel free to eat whatever food you want to without beating yourself up about it.
I'm done. That was such terrible advice. I don't know how this video could be considered as anything other than enabling food addicts to not fix their health.
So Illy's quotes here, that food is just food and you should eat whatever you want, were the most...
Have you watched her full video?
He's gonna play a clip here where he's like basically making the case that Think Before You Sleep took her out of context.
Okay, because technically what she's saying is correct, but I mean that could be construed in a stupid way. She could have said it dumbly, or she could have. But I don't know. We'll see.
Important pieces of evidence to Sean's conclusion. Accordingly, they were represented in a few other places. In the thumbnail of his video, for example, Illy is holding a sign that reads, "Eat what you want," to an audience of children, while her avatar holds a milkshake and is depicted as being unstable. These quotes seem to be the real sticking point for other creators that covered his video.
Food is just food.
What did you mean by that's a correct thing? Chocolate is not good for you.
No food is good or bad for you. Every food just does different things. The problem with highly processed food or food that's like really high in simple sugars is it tends to be a lot of calories with a really low micronutrient and bad macronutrient profile. But it's not technically bad for you. Like, let's say, for instance, you're working out, you're a big guy, right? Let's say you want, like, you're trying to eat like 2,500 calories a day. Let's say you hit all your macros and like 1,800 calories. You can eat 700 calories of candy bars if you want. Or you
Okay,
can
do you
carrots,
think that's what she's saying?
that's why I said I don't know, but I have to hear the rest of the video.
Because I feel like what she's saying is basically just a more, like, she's not like a scientific YouTuber. I feel like more what she's saying is just like, you don't have to think that much about it. Nobody really cares. Like, you shouldn't worry that much about your appearance. Stuff
I would have to hear the rest of the video.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it's kind of right. Like, my assumption would be that,
like, we can say chocolate is not good for you.
I mean, you kind of can.
It's not good for you. It's bad for you. You can still eat it as long as you're eating
why
a lot
would
of
we
other
mean
things.
it's bad for you?
Like, it's just like sugar and fucking fat.
Like, your body needs glucose to survive. That's not bad.
Yeah, but
Carbs
you
aren't bad for
don't need.
Simple
Yeah, but you don't need chocolate to survive. You don't need
You don't
Coca-Cola.
need it.
You can get that stuff from
Well,
other
it depends.
food.
You could need it. Let's say you hit all your micros and macros in 1,000 calories. You might need 500 calories of simple sugars to survive, right? Isn't that what people when people eat like potatoes and shit? What is that? Just like carbs and starch, or like people eat bread? It's just like carbs and.
I mean, yeah, bread isn't particularly good for you either.
Well, it's
okay to eat.
It's not that it's good or bad for you. It's just that different food offers different things. Like, if you need 300 calories to hit your like goal at the end of the day, and you just eat like a bar of chocolate, it's not that big of a deal, right?
But can we generally say that like chocolate is bad for you, and you'd probably be better off like eating something healthier to get that 300 calories?
I mean, I think you can, but I think the problem is that it just depends on your approach to food. Like, if you're trying to tell somebody to diet, the honest thing should probably be to stay away from like super processed foods and like simple sugars. Like, if somebody tries to like maximize for those two things, they'll probably be okay. But if you're like trying to go through like, well, this is good for you and this is bad for you and this is good, it's not really technically correct. And then two, it leads to like a weird thing of like food analysis, I think. But also, I would have to see your full video. Like, I don't know. It's like, it could be right, it could be wrong. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we're gonna see more of it. I gotta get some water real quick.
Okay, be careful, babe. What's the difference between a processed food and a super processed food? My understanding is the more you process a food, generally the easier it is to digest, and the more like things like fibers and everything are removed from the food, meaning that the satiation is incredibly low. I don't know if you would say the bio or the caloric availability is generally very high. And you just like, and then I think it also tends to strip away other nutrients as well. So like, the more processed something is, the quicker and easier it is to digest, the quicker you're hungry for the next meal, and then the less like micronutrient fulfilling it is. I think as a general rule of thumb, I think that's true for like the more you process food. Insulin spikes as well. I don't think insulin spikes matter much as long as you're not diabetic. I tried to look that up, but I don't think that's technically true. I don't think insulin spikes matter or sugar spikes matter. As long as you're not diabetic, it doesn't, like, your body can handle, you eat sugar, make insulin, you hide the sugar, like, it's fine. Like, as a rule of thumb, if you're trying to avoid food, like, probably staying away from candy bars and shit is probably okay.
I think that's the majority of what he's saying.
Yeah, sure, but I would just have to see, like, I would need to see her video to know better.
He's going to make the case that, well, I don't want to spoil it. We'll keep watching.
Okay.
The stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Clearly, there's a couple of dumbass arguments that are open to be criticized.
Well, actually, all food is the same. No, you fucking idiot. Of course, all food's not the same.
Remember, she basically says there's no difference between eating a carrot and a cookie or whatever, pure gold. Did she actually say that? That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, the fat acceptance stuff is just gone way too far, I think.
To give up on yourself, your goals, and that food is food.
What you are proposing is very unhealthy and dangerous. What is your problem, you evil, life-destroying monster? You just ruined a bunch of young people's, especially
These comments
girls'
are
lives.
retarded.
So did she really say this? Is she really going to get people killed? Let's take a closer look at the evidence and find out. So one thing I noticed in Sean's video is that there's a funny cut when he shows this clip. Right after the line, no matter how many calories, carbs, and sugars, the video skips just a bit. The s'more changes hands, the boy's blood blood sugar monitor, that's what this is, it just sort of appears on the chair.
Okay,
There's
can
a
we just
break
pause it for
in
a second? No, if you're
continuity.
watching
So
this, I don't know if I said this before. You don't need to spend 13 seconds explaining like that there's a cut. Like just say there's a weird cut. You don't need to go like the blood sugar monitor and this happens and like just say it's so slow. Why do you talk so slow too? Jesus. It's fucking I make video essays. This is such a fucking pet peeve. It's like unwatchable.
Okay.
I went back to Illy's actual video and see if you can spot what he decided to cut from this sequence.
No matter how many calories, carbs, sugars, whatever is in it. Unless you have life-threatening allergies or dietary restrictions to follow, you should feel free to eat whatever food you want to without beating yourself up about it.
So immediately before she says that fated line, eat whatever you want, she added a caveat. She said, unless you have life-threatening allergies or dietary restrictions to follow. While this line is being delivered, you can also see on the screen that the boy who has diabetes is taking a reading of his blood sugar and then gets the green light, so he's good to go for having a s'more with his friends without throwing his blood sugar out of whack. This line, as well as the depiction on screen, is an acknowledgement that
This line doesn't fundamentally change the thing before you sleep was talking about. He wasn't talking about having diabetes or having a peanut allergy. He's talking about obesity and getting fat.
I have to watch her video. Okay. I don't want to... I'm going to kill myself. Okay. Here's a big issue that people run into when they go to do diets. There's two big issues, okay? One is that people think like calories in, calories out, which, while absolutely true, is meaningless in practice. And then the second thing is people view diets as like punishments. And when you view diets as punishments, you run into this weird cycle of you look at healthy food as this thing that you have to like suffer and endure. And if you like have a breakdown in will, you feel like shit and you eat a candy bar and it like destroys you. And sometimes you'll just quit because you're like, F me, I can't do it, right? I think that when you have that, that's why I'm saying that like when you look at food, food is just food. It's got a variety of different macros available, and that's it. Some stuff has like a lot of carbs, no micronutrient value, and doesn't leave you like very filled. If you're trying to lose weight, you should probably avoid those foods. But if you start labeling foods as like good and bad and good and bad, you like moralize your eating habits, and then you just start to feel like shit and it fucks your brain up. And I'm generally more in favor of like have a realistic view of food. And when you're trying to do like healthy diets, you can make a healthy diet that tastes like really good and is fun to eat and you don't feel like shit when you do it. Whereas if you're viewing foods like you're moralizing them, I think that that's a really damaging way to approach a diet.
I mean,
but I don't know what her full video is and I don't know what his full video is, so I might agree or disagree with either one. I just haven't seen their whole thing, right? Yeah.
okay, well, why don't we just click on her video and just watch that part of it to get the context? Why don't we do
Do
that?
you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
2.5 million subs. Holy shit.
So we look for the campfire scene, basically.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Okay, I want to do redefining healthy.
Is that the same campfire scene, or is this even the video? Oh, this is it.
It's coming. Okay, we're gonna watch from here. Okay.
Okay.
We're watching it all,
Yeah,
Tom.
you'll make a good
Welcome to the research stream. This is what I do on stream. Okay, we're gonna get the full fucking context for the video so that I can understand
right.
this fucking video.
All right,
okay,
we'll get the full context.
We are.
All right, Jesus.
What did I do as a young girl who wasn't confident in her body? I started dieting.
Hey, don't. You're doing it. Don't do this. Don't do this to me, chat. Don't make me soy the fuck out. Okay. Don't make me soy out. Don't put me in a spot where I ever have to defend Noah Samsen, one of the worst human beings on the planet. Okay. What she's saying is that, and this is something you'll learn as you get older, and maybe, I don't know if she'll go through this in the video, okay, but when you're a girl, when you're in class, when you're in school, there are certain things that are trendy, there are certain things that are cool, but different people, it's true for men as well, but when you're a woman, different people have to dress in different ways, especially depending on, not just like distribution of the body, but especially depending on your boobs, okay? If you got huge ass boobs, there are certain outfits that if you wear them, people are going to look at you and call you a slut. There was actually some drama on Twitter that I think Lauren Southern, I think Brittany Venti, and I think a couple other conservative women were involved in on Twitter, where people are like, oh, this is like a good conservative dress and this woman looks like a slut. And the only difference is one woman just had bigger boobs, right? Now, if you're in grade school or middle school or high school as a girl, you might not have learned these things yet, but as you get older, you realize like, okay, well, like I have like no boobs, or my boobs, I've got like, you know, 32 B's. I'm this itty bitty girl and like my tits don't show, and I can like go braless. Whereas for other women, depending on, even if you wear a sports bra, people are going to call you a slut just because they can see your boobs bounce. This is just something that women have to deal with, and you learn it growing up, and sometimes it's annoying, sometimes it's not. But don't spam question marks just because you're a guy and you have no fucking idea what it's like to have to deal with like boob sizes and shit. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, I don't care. I hate all these people. All right, keep going. Oh God. The irritating thing is that I bet if I watch who's the retard guy doesn't sleep or whatever, what's his name?
Think before you sleep.
Think before you sleep. My guess is there's probably good criticism you can make in this video. He didn't make any of them because he's a like anti-soy rager, okay? So dieting to change the shape of your body isn't necessarily a bad thing, and being in a healthy BMI doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a healthy weight. Like, I think my BMI is squarely in the healthy zone right now, and I've got like visceral fat that I can lose. Tom over here, who's shredded, okay, came in, he just came back from some DXM scans. I think what was it, 9.5% body fat? Tom over here might be a little bit, 9.5% body fat. Tom over here might be a little bit high on the BMI thing, but since he's a shredded, okay, Greek God sculpted body, he might not need to lose as much weight, okay? So just because you're in the healthy BMI range isn't really indicative of whether or not you need to lose weight or not. BMI is a really good guesstimate, especially in population levels. Yeah, okay, but you don't, yeah, that's just kill me. Yes, kill me. Kill me. Yes, I don't have to watch this video. Yeah, kill me.
Noah Samsen will never hurt you again.
Thank you. Oh, I'm still alive. I'm so miserable. Okay. But anyway, okay. All right.
Okay, but
What? Yeah. But I'm saying that's a criticism you can make right here, right? Just because people are trying to diet to change shape of your body isn't necessarily bad. Now, ideally, you're dieting for health, but you can also diet for a body change shape as well, or to make other. There's nothing wrong with that fact. That's not wrong in itself. We need more data to supplement that. For instance, I'm willing to bet that you could probably find scary numbers on number of teenage girls, especially girls that have had an eating disorder.
That's high. Yeah.
Now this is scarier. Researchers learned that 35 to 57% of adolescent girls engage in crash dieting, fasting, self-induced vomiting, diet pills, or laxatives. Additional studies indicate that 10 out of every 100 young women will struggle with an eating disorder. This is more scary and harder to defend, right?
Yeah.
That's better than this, in my opinion, but okay. Okay, so there we go. We got one criticism so far, okay?
The purging stuff is scary, bro. I remember in high school, it was like a huge thing.
Yes, and it destroys your teeth and your esophagus, and vomiting is... The reason why it feels so good after you vomit is because your body floods the fuck out of you with endorphins, because it is a very hard process on your body. Your whole digestive tract is working backwards. It's like pulling my out of your mom's ass when she really only wants it to go one way. It's hard.
Thank you.
Teenagers should be focused on getting good grades, hanging out with their friends, and seeing the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka movie, not counting calories. Why are kids...
Look, okay.
This is dumb. I agree generally, but you shouldn't be like, you can just do whatever you want and just be unhealthy.
True.
That's retarded.
No, yes. Well,
kids
even more than that, that's really bad, because starting bad dieting habits when you're a kid, you will never escape them. If you fuck your body up, I'm sorry, I'm sounding really extreme.
No, go, yell.
Shut up. You know this if you are obese or overweight. If you mess your body up as a kid, I don't mean mess your body up also. What I really mean is when you create really poor eating habits as a child, the number that I read, I always recite this and I need to find this source again, but I read something that like only 2% of people that hit the obese BMI thing ever make it back to normal BMI. 2%. It's really hard to start with really bad eating habits as a kid and then to make it back when you're an adult, especially because everything is working against you, okay? When you're a kid, you are super fucking active. I'm not lying. This sounds like an over-exaggeration. It wouldn't surprise me if I was burning 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day working 12-hour shifts at the casino. When you are on your feet moving, constantly, moving all fucking day at a job or whatever, and then you immediately go from that to I'm sitting at my computer for 15 hours a day working, your expenditure is plummeting. So you're working out less, you're moving less, your body is aging, so you start to consume less calories, and then you get bigger and bigger. It's just, that's a death cycle. You never want to be stuck. You never want to be stuck in that death spiral of being obese, getting older. And also keep in mind this too, people don't understand where obesity comes from. Generally, obesity isn't you're 100 pounds and then next year you're 200 pounds and you're obese. Usually it's like you're 19, you weigh 120, you're 20, you weigh like 124, 21, you're like 126, 22, 23, 24. You gain like, 3 to 5 pounds a year. It's never like a big deal. But then all of a sudden you're like 28, 29, 30 years old and you look good at 125 and now you're like 155 or 160 and you haven't like exploded in weight, but you just gain like 25, 30 pounds. And to really truly lose weight, you're looking at this is cap your mind right here. Your cap on weight loss is about 6 pounds a month. Anybody that tells you different is lying 1,000,000%. Know that. Anybody that tells you will lose more than 6 pounds a month is lying to you. Always. They're always lying. Drill that into your head. A lot of people are right to type in chat, I'm wrong on that. You're only losing 6 pounds of fat a month. When you start dieting, you can lose a lot of weight immediately because your diet is getting cleaned up. You're not consuming as much sodium. Your water levels drop. But you know what? This is every person's new journey to dieting. As you start dieting, you lose about 4 pounds in like 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 1 week, and you feel really good. The next week, you lose about 1 pound. The next week, you gain a pound. The next week, your weight doesn't change, and all of a sudden the diet you were doing doesn't work at all, and then the next week you might gain another half pound. It's because your body is equalizing in like levels of sodium and shit in your body. Because usually when you start dieting, you go from eating a ton of French fries to a ton of like fruit and fucking salad, and everything is equalizing. I'm just saying that you're losing about 6 pounds of fat a month if you're hardcore dieting. A pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. Average daily diet is about 2,000 calories is your consumption. If you cut 500 calories a day, it's 3,500 calories a week. It's about a pound of fat a week. Anybody that says they lose more than that is lying to you. A lot of people lie, okay? They lie about their numbers. They lie about their weight. They lie about their dieting. Just as a heads up, don't trust any fitness influencer. Don't trust anything else. Okay, I see so many people say shit like, oh yeah, like I lost like about 20 pounds last month. No, you didn't lose. What did you do? Amputate your fucking leg, motherfucker? You did not lose 20 pounds last month, okay?
Can you lose 20 pounds if you just like straight up don't eat like for
like
days
you can
and
you
days
can
and
literally
days?
you can just do that. Let's say you consume 2,000 calories a day, and in 30 days, let's say you don't eat anything, you don't eat a single piece of food, you can lose 17 pounds in 1 month if you drink only water.
Okay.
If you starve yourself for a month, yes, but realistically nobody's doing this.
Okay, so let's say
This is starvation.
Okay, so let's say you have 17 pounds of starvation
Yeah.
plus let's say like 5 pounds of water weight you can lose. Okay.
Well, yeah, but we're not counting the water weight because the water will equalize.
Okay.
The only, just don't do this. Also, now this is a little bit more tenuous, or I'm not as confident on this, but I know they did a lot of studies, or they did two for the Biggest Losers. Do you know that show?
Is that the one like the people who lose the most weight?
Yeah,
win?
if you crash diet, there is a chance, at least, I'm saying there's a chance because there's only the N equals 10 or 15 from that study. There is a chance that your body will have permanent metabolic adaptations, and that is incredibly scary. So be careful for crash dieting as well.
What are those permanent metabolic adaptations?
They're unbelievable. Biggest Loser study adaptation. Listen, if you've ever done any dieting or whatever, these are the scariest charts you will ever see in your entire life, okay? It is wild. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Hold on. Okay. I think this might be it, okay? So here's your average age, okay? Plus or minus 10. So your average age is 35 years old, okay? Your average weight in kilograms is about 150 kilograms, which I think is like 310 or something.
Yeah.
Pounds.
It's 300 pounds.
Yeah, okay, about 300 pounds, okay? The average resting metabolic rate, this is the calories that your body burns just to stay alive, okay? So not your total daily estimated expenditure, that's gonna be your movement plus your resting metabolic rate or your basal metabolic rate, right? So this was 2,600 on average, okay?
For somebody that heavy.
Yes.
Which is above average for a person.
Correct. Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
fat, right?
Yeah.
The more you weigh, the more homeostasis costs or whatever, right? Now, at the end of the competition, these guys went from 149 kilograms to 90 kilograms, and their resting metabolic rate, meaning the amount of calories they consume to stay alive, dropped to 2,000. You would expect to see this drop, okay?
Because they weigh less.
Correct. Okay. Now, the terrifying part is after 6 years, on average, these people gained back about 40 kilograms. So they're still 20 kilograms lighter, right, than their original weight.
But is that because of bad habits?
Yeah, probably, or whatever. They rebounded, people do. But look at the resting metabolic rate. It's lower on average than the...
Okay, it stayed down there.
So now you weigh 300 pounds, and if you eat more than 2,300 calories a day, you're gaining weight.
You have
Can you
have
imagine?
the metabolism of a skinny person.
Yeah. Can you imagine trying to cut? You're like, I've got to cut to 2,000 calories a day, and somebody's looking at you like, bro, you're 300 pounds. What do you mean you're on a 2,000 calorie daily diet? You could probably eat like 2,500 to lose that. You're like, I can't. I'm fucked. That's why I'm just saying. Now, let me caution you. This is literally, I think, like a sample size of 10 or 15, and this is with crash dieting. But be careful. Just be careful about like the crash dieting shit. There could be other things. Yeah, somebody said the author reinterpreted that study and thinks it's more about long-term exercise than the crash diet. There could be other factors at play here, and maybe their metabolisms did rebound eventually. I'm just saying that like if you're aiming to lose fat, 4 to 6 pounds a month, about a pound a week is good. That's a healthy way to do it. You're making changes in your dieting, your exercise.
You're going to be someone who's like, I did like one cut. You're just going to be like completely fucking miserable if you don't do it like slowly and like try to have like you can like eat less than you're supposed to, and you're going to feel like shit a little bit, but you need to still have things that you like to eat. You need to like be having a relatively mixed in diet. You can't just be eating like chicken breasts like with no seasoning and absolutely
yeah, because that shit will
else.
get miserable after a week or two. Yeah.
Well, it gets miserable after like a day for me. Like that was how I initially failed my first cut, because I was like, I'm gonna eat 1,300 calories a day and I'm gonna be fine. And then after 2 days of that, I was like, I'm going crazy, and I like pigged out a bunch of ice cream. And,
Yeah, and like cheat meals can like destroy a week's worth of diet. Like you can put away easily like 1,500 calories of like ice cream or croissant. Like I think a croissant is like 300 calories.
Yeah.
I could eat 5 croissants in one sitting. If I really wanted
absolutely.
to. Absolutely. So
you,
yeah.
you really have to take it slow with everything like that.
Yeah. Weight, you should view weight, and there's another reason why I kind of agree with what she said, but maybe I won't, we'll see. Weight is a function of your lifestyle. So if you want to change your weight, you should try to change your lifestyle, not just like crash diet for a little bit, because it's never going to, it's never going to, hold on. This guy said, clearly you have never been bodybuilders. Show him. Show him the biceps. Show him the biceps. Show him the biceps. Show him the biceps.
I'm not a bodybuilder.
Both of them, Tom.
Both of them.
Pull them up, both, yeah. Give it up. Look at that.
What's up,
No
Chad?
pump. That's no pump. That's no pump. That's no pump.
That's what's up, DGG.
They're 2 times larger, okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, you're good. He's got a lot of water weight too. I saw him eat 10 of these creatine pills. So
I don't have that much. I don't have any water weight right now. I don't think.
Shut up. Okay, there we go.
Kids so body conscious. Why are they getting bullied? Who is teaching them this?
Why is the left
Well,
arm so much smaller? Because I ferociously beat your mom with my right.
True.
My bad.
That
Wait,
isn't
is it that much
healthy.
smaller? We just need a comparison. Bring up the f***ing camera again. It's not that much smaller. There is a difference, but hold on. I need to actually know. Is this real? Hold on.
Wait, holy shit.
Even camera. Is one of them way smaller?
I would say you've got like 34-inch arms here, like 28-inch arms
That's
there,
not true.
I would say.
That's not true.
Maybe you're like flexing the right one more.
Hold on. No, that's not true.
How much do those inserts cost? Is that synthol? Is that what they call it?
It's your mom all. It's raping all. It's NRT.
Yes, true.
When are you gonna get biceps like that, Destiny? We tried to get you to go to the gym. Did that work out?
Yeah, we did. We went to the gym. It was in our documentary, remember?
We went once.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
And are you still going?
Yeah, every day. I just came from the gym. Remember we passed each other by on the way up from the gym.
Oh yeah, my
full
bad.
control and responsibility over their health. No,
Finally squatted.
that is woke prop.
380.
380. Yeah, 389. I bring
Amazing.
the quarter-pound plates with me. This idea that like you're in full control of your weight and full control of blah 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 independent of all your environment is stupid, but it's also stupid to go the other way and say you're a total slave to your environment and nothing can ever be changed too. But we'll see which way she goes in this. Good luck.
In the very colonial belief that every individual has full control and responsibility over their health.
Also, anytime somebody, I don't want to say it here because I'm trying to critically analyze their video, but anytime somebody's like colonial or imperialist or whatever, there should always be huge red flags to you.
I had to order that dress online because they didn't have my size in store.
Before we also go too far into here, okay, she probably was fat, and that's not good, and we'll get into that. But also, women will know this more than men, but it's equally true for both sexes. It's almost anybody can look good if you're like very aware of what you're supposed to wear. I don't know if anybody has videos of it, but like there was some fat dude whose TikTok we were going through. Like if you know how to rock a certain, no, I shouldn't say know how to rock a certain outfit. Different outfits will look good on different people. Even if you're fat, even if you're skinny, if you got huge tits, even if you have no tits, big ass, no ass, unequal biceps like Tom, whatever. Like you can find outfits. Outfits that make you look.
If you're a man though, do you think it's way easier to look good if you're fat than for a woman?
It's different. It can be more challenging for women possibly, but women tend to know way more about fashion and clothes than men. But I'm just saying that like even as a chubby woman, like there are outfits that you can wear that make you look. Jesus Christ, is she chubby? She is chubby, but this outfit looks really good. Damn. God damn.
Stop, bro.
Who is this?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Stop. Holy shit.
Some woman.
Can you hold on? Okay. Can you do the thing where you choke me again? But now I'm imagining her legs around me. No, I'm just kidding.
Her legs.
Damn. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So if you feel like you look really bad in an outfit, unless you're legitimately like 400, 500 pounds, if you feel like you look really bad in an outfit, you can pick a better outfit. I promise. Okay.
Or you can lose weight.
Or you can lose weight. You can do that too. But if you have to dress up for an event, don't beat yourself up trying to fit into some like really. Don't try to fit into something that doesn't fit you. Just buy something larger, or buy something that's more form-fitting for you. Okay.
So she was just like tired.
No, hold on. Also, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Was she just like exhausted? At the
No,
gym?
hold on. I just want to say, listen, okay? Jesus fucking Christ, all right? Listen, all right? Without making anything personal, this is some stolen valor, okay? her proportions, if this is the fattest she's ever been in her life, she can totally rock this body, and most guys will simp over this. She's like a little chubby in the middle.
But I feel like it wouldn't be super difficult to lose that weight.
Possibly, but I'm just saying, like, I thought this was like a beluga whale type girl. She's just like a thick mommy type body girl, and I'm not trying to. Sorry, I'm not trying to like. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that, like.
Born brain.
No. I'm just saying that, like, I thought that she was like a massive fucking whale, but it's like, this is not even close to what I was expecting. But sorry. But anyway, okay, sorry. Wait, hello? Wait, what just happened?
Did you stop streaming or something?
Oh, me. She copyright protected the video.
She did?
Yeah, so we can't watch the stream. Me. I only usually look at this when I'm playing music, because usually it's really rare that YouTubers do this. Oh, but she probably did it so that she doesn't get bullied.
Oh my god, wait. So we just have to wait? Just wait it out?
Yeah, it'll be like
OBS or something?
a minute or two. No, it'll come back.
Okay. That fucking blows. No.
Like, I feel like, especially if you're trying to look slim, is like under boobie look.
I have no
like,
idea what's going on there.
Yeah. I don't even think this is a body issue thing. I think it's like, I legit think with like a different outfit, I don't think anybody would know. I don't think anybody would have even made any comments. I think it's the outfit more than anything else, but whatever.
I agree. I'm very perplexed by people that have like huge audiences and get really upset still by comment sections.
Sure.
Like, have you not been desensitized to that by now? Well, I guess we are in like super, relatively toxic communities, but.
Okay. All right, can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Two quick things, and then I can't watch all of this on stream. Sorry, but I might just like to exit off stream. Okay, just a real quick thing. Okay, if you've been working out for 3 months and nothing has changed, okay, either one, you're not actually losing weight because you're not counting your calories, meaning you're eating more than you realize. That's probably the most likely thing. Or two, it's also possible you can lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. Although you should probably still be losing weight. I don't know how much muscle you should be gaining, but if it's been like 3 months, you are not.
You're not doing the right exercises.
Something is going wrong. You can't just you don't just do the same thing and hope for the best. You have to make a change if something's not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you need to, if you've got trouble with your finances and you're trying to like bring your spending under control, people are going to tell you to make a budget. They're not just going to tell you like, here's a spending plan. They're going to say like, here's a budget. Like you need to keep track, or like you need to keep track of your expenses. It's the same thing with eating. You can't just, you can't just eat whatever and hope you're hitting your calorie count every day. You have to actually count. Okay. Give me like 3 minutes real quick. I'm just going to 2x the rest of this video. All right. And then I have to silence you guys. Hold on 1 sec. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is the issue. Okay.
Oh, here's the real issue.
Yeah. Here's the real issue. Here's the real issue. Okay. Yeah. The ending message isn't nice. Okay. The real issue is people are retarded. And for some reason, people can't acknowledge faults about themselves without fucking hating themselves, okay? It's okay to look in the mirror. You should be able to look at the mirror and love yourself and love your body while recognizing faults that you can work on. That's it. But people have a really hard time doing that for a variety of reasons, for a variety of good reasons, okay? You shouldn't have, I don't know this, she brought up this body neutrality. That's not true. There are healthier bodies and there are unhealthier bodies. There are better versions of yourself and there are worse versions of yourself. You don't have to be neutral on it. You should be neutral on like the love you have for yourself. You should always love yourself, but like you can recognize faults, and hopefully through the recognition of those faults and the love you have for yourself, you work on improving yourself. The idea that you have to see everything neutrally is stupid. When you say that like I would also be curious, she never gives her weight and height, which would also give us a little bit more indication what she's talking about. When she's like, maybe our bodies don't need to be less fat to be considered healthy. That depends on how fat you are. That's a meaningless statement. If you weigh 105 pounds and you're 6'1", you probably need to gain some weight. If you weigh 150 pounds and you're 5'2", you're probably an unhealthy weight. And that unhealthiness like manifests in very real ways. Inflammation all throughout your body. It's really bad for a lot of your joints. It takes a toll on your organs, depending on the amount of visceral fat. There's a whole bunch of different things that can your hormones. There's a whole bunch of different things that can affect you negatively with if you have too much weight on your body, especially depending on how you carry the weight and where you carry the weight. So yeah, you can lose weight, it's fine, but you don't have to hate yourself because you're fat. Just like recognize like, yeah, there's a negative aspect of myself. You can also recognize it's negative and not fix it. You can say, F it.
Can you realistically expect the average person to totally divorce these things?
You have to try, and that's what you should encourage people to do. It's better than otherwise, right? Yeah. Like it can't be all one thing.
I think it's good to generally like not be.
Gaston, thanks for 20 gift subs.
I think it's good to not be super mean to fat people. I always wonder like, where are these people that treat fat people like they're subhuman? Like, is it just comment sections?
It is comment sections, yeah.
Because like in real life, like nobody's discriminating against a fat person, right?
Well, not like, depends on what you mean by that. Like people will make comments and joke and probably bully you and shit, yeah, for sure.
In the adult world still?
In the adult world, I mean, it's not going to manifest like directly, but like nobody in the adult world is going to directly make fun of a guy for being 5'3", but people are going to notice it and probably treat you differently, right?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, so it'll be the same
I just
thing.
feel like it's not, I don't know, that big of a deal, but...
Well, maybe you should try being fat for a little bit and see what it's like, Tom.
That.
Also, if you're like 4 months in and you have no change in your shit, then you're doing something incorrect, all right? Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
I've always heard that BMI is a shit metric to use personally, that it should only be used to demonstrate population health. BMI is probably going to work for 99% of people. It's probably fine for you. Okay, sorry. All right, we're doing this. Good luck.
Some exceptions to her statement, which would include, for example, a diabetic person's blood sugar imbalances, or most importantly, for Sean's conclusion, the dietary restrictions recommended to morbidly obese people. He just cut that line right out. And this is important.
Okay, but...
She didn't say dietary restrictions to morbidly obese people. That's not true. And also, if you caveat by saying like, oh, well, you should eat whatever you want as long as you're considering your dietary restrictions, you've actually encompassed literally every single thing, right? Well, of course, everybody should eat everything they want except for dietary restrictions. But what we're arguing over is whether or not you should have dietary restrictions. So it's kind of a...
Well, when she said diet, I think what she means by dietary restriction...
It's like if you have an allergy?
Yes.
I guess.
It's like
But
peanut
then,
stuff.
in that case, that's a dumb
Because
statement.
her argument is like you shouldn't really care if you gain weight.
Yeah, that's
If you
probably
eat,
dumb, yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
So like this
Right.
line does not meaningfully change it. So Think Before You Sleep did not take her out of
No.
context in a meaningful way.
You shouldn't have cut the line. I don't know why you did that. But you're right. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
doesn't
probably
really
just to make
change
it
it.
more entertaining.
I guess.
I don't know. Easier to
Recommended to
watch.
morbidly obese people. He just cut that line right out. And this is important, right? Because this line directly refutes Sean's narrative that Illy is promoting obesity. This phrase, dietary restrictions, rules out the more extreme situations that Sean is referring to when he says that this will cause viewers to eat themselves in...
The sleep dipshit is a dipshit, but like this statement is also meaningless. Like dietary restrictions, if you're saying dietary restrictions include diets like to lose weight, then you're literally saying you can eat anything as long as you don't eat what you're not supposed to eat, which is a meaningless statement.
To an early grave. There's another equally important misrepresentation of what Illy says here, which has to do with context and framing. If you notice, Sean introduces the clip from Illy's video by calling it her advice.
Let's see Alyssa's final piece of advice.
Now, what does he mean by advice? Just general advice or something more specific? Well, seeing as his conclusion from this advice is that Illy might kill fat people by enabling them to overeat, it's safe to assume, I think, that when he says advice, what he actually means is nutritional advice. You know, advice for dieting and weight loss. That's what the conclusion implies. And so, when these lines, food is just food and carrots aren't good and chocolate isn't bad, are being presented as dieting advice, and yeah, you already know people were gonna have something to say about that, and say about that, they did.
S'mores are a diet food. Got it.
So 27 bars of chocolate is equal to a meal of broccoli, grilled tomato, mashed potatoes, and chicken. Nice to know.
I have diabetes type 3. Time to eat 4 trillion Oreos.
It's really funny, that last one, given that Illy specifically accounted for diabetic people, but Sean just didn't show it, so then there was a bunch of comments about diabetes related.
I mean, yeah, but
the other alleged creators covering this video
These
did the
comments
same-
aren't because of what Sean said, and at least in the clips we've seen.
Sure, maybe, yeah.
Like,
same thing.
Carrots are definitely healthier for you than a chocolate bar, so telling kids something otherwise is actually harmful.
What has more calories? 1 pound of broccoli or half a cup of olive oil? Half a cup of olive.
Did one of your professional doctors...
Like this is like retards fighting retards. Who the fuck is eating a pound of broccoli? It's just retards fighting retards. Anything having to do with diet and nutrition is fucking idiots.
tell you this? Was the nutritionist the one that told you that carrots and chocolates are the same? I can't believe a full-grown adult actually believes this dumb shit. Here's a fact. Chocolate is high in sugar and saturated fat.
Yeah, they just go on like that for like 10 minutes. They sound like they're having a blast, honestly. There must be a floor to critical thinking that when you blow past it, everything just starts feeling like pure euphoria. This response here from both audiences and creators relies on Sean's framing of Illy's words, that they were intended as dieting advice. But the thing is, they weren't. Illy's video has some fairly straightforward themes. She talks about dealing with negative body image, about getting bullied, starting unhealthy eating habits, and frustrations over weight loss. Her video is a direct critique of diet culture.
So to be clear, unless I forgot, I don't think she talked at all about starting unhealthy eating habits. She just said that she went on a diet when she was gymming. I don't think she said anything about it personally. She had that one picture of like some people diet too much or whatever, but I didn't remember.
I don't think she didn't really talk about anorexia.
I don't think she
or
said anything about unhealthy eating habits. So
Yeah.
Sam, what's his dipshit's name? Noah just added this shit in out of nowhere, but okay.
And its morality-based food logic.
Diet culture is an entire belief system that associates food with morality and thinness with goodness.
She relates her own experiences to the common occurrence of teenagers dieting despite already being at a healthy weight. Immediately before the good and bad foods clip, Illy introduces a concept called body neutrality, which advocates for removing the moral element from how we view our bodies. She then states that she is about to apply that concept to food. So given the actual content of her video and the direct link she'd just drawn from moral neutrality to food, when she finally actually says these lines, her intent could not be more clear. She's talking about morality. She's saying that eating carrots doesn't make you a good person, just like eating chocolate doesn't make you a bad person. By presenting only the tail end of this sequence and neglecting to accurately portray the central themes of her entire video, Sean has removed it.
Okay, this is just fucking brain dead. You can never remove the way that people view like exemplary forms of the human body and remove all normativity from that. That's impossible. When people are carving, marble statues or drawing paintings, or we've got the Olympics, like to some way or in some way, like your body can be honorific, or like you can celebrate like a person's body that's gone through a certain amount of training that looks a certain way. The idea that you would always be able to divorce these things from each other is ridiculous. That will never ever happen. If you're super fat, people are always probably going to normatively load that a little bit bad, because even on a purely like naturalistic sense, your body is, you would view it as like performing suboptimally, right? It's not good. Like it should be better. And even when you say good or bad here, like whether we're talking descriptively or normatively, is almost impossible to separate, right? Because people like it would kind of be like saying, it's the equivalent to saying like we need to stop viewing sickness as being morally bad. And it's like maybe in like an ultra technical sense it's true, but like nobody's going to view it that way. Like being sick and having the flu and having disease is always going to be seen as almost like a normatively negative bad thing, not just like a status of the body. So the advocating for the separation of these two things is probably never going to happen, but
it from all context. The result is that he's framed her as both an idiot that can't do basic math about calories, and more seriously, a dangerous person whose dieting advice will end up with people dead. Along with Sean's conclusion that Illy's advice is going to kill people, he also claims that because of this sequence, the message of her video is that she endorses drug abuse.
Stop writing criticism off as malicious concern trolling when the ending message of your video was effectively, if you can't stop doing drugs, then drugs aren't bad, and you should take whatever drugs you want and as many drugs as you want.
This was yet another inflammatory statement that was mainlined into the beautiful working brains of the people harassing her.
Why did you just sell me drugs?
Next video, the perks of popping pills.
Should I be celebrated for my lifestyle choices? Gather round and cheer me on while I drink heavily 5 days a week. I'm an alcoholic. Accept me.
Here's a comment saying she compared coffee with fentanyl. And then here's another comment saying that she actually said that. The severity of these accusations is then compounded by his immediate reminder to viewers that her audience is probably full of children.
Keep in mind that Alyssa's videos are clearly targeted at children based on the style of animation and the references and jokes she makes.
The implication here is that Illy's video may end up directly harming or possibly killing children. If we hold him to all the assertions he's made here, that's what the video is telling us. And then we remember his inclusion of children in the thumbnail and his later speculations about her child audience.
Considering that in this post you stated that your market is children, do you really think this is being a good role model?
And the results are that his viewers have heard his message loud and clear. She should not.
Also, listen, I don't know for this whole dipshit, the soy guy of his video, I don't know how hard he went on her. Maybe it was uncalled for. I don't know. I haven't seen anything so far to suggest that. But keep in mind that this like attack the children thing, like Samsen and all these other lefties use the same shit too, right? You remember like the Friend World stuff and the Pepe the Frog and shit, where they're like, you target children with Nazi like cartoons and stuff, and you guys like everybody does this shit. So everybody like children are like used by fucking everybody. It's like the debate pedophilia. You try to bring a child out and then use them for whatever political goal you're trying to push. Like everybody does this shit.
Not be telling children that it's okay to be unhealthy. 4,000 likes. Illy, you're feeding 14-year-old insecure children lies about health. As a soon-to-be doctor, yeah, I'm sure that's true. As a soon-to-be doctor, you are making everything worse for the next generation. A little content warning here for some bad stuff. I hate this lying Jewish blank with all my heart. She needs to die. The new video she made is promoting childhood obesity. She is a cancer to this world and needs to be rotting 6 feet under the ground. This comment is from the doxing
I don't understand why even show these comments as if they have anything to do with
yeah, they're dumb.
Before you sleep.
Yeah, they're dumb.
They're just crazy comments. He didn't even say anything about her being Jewish. Her being Jewish has nothing to do with the video.
Yeah.
They stated they were going to visit her in California. They said they wanted her dead, and at that point, they knew where she lived. Thankfully, Illy was able to move before anything violent happened, but if someone...
Okay, so can we pause this here?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the likelihood that something was going to come from these comments?
Almost nothing.
Like 0.00000000000.
Unless she received like specific death threats, I would say probably nothing. Yeah, it's probably nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Had taken action. Sean's video very well could have been what pushed them over the edge. Before we move on to the next section, I just want to play the part of Illy's video that comes right after the sequence we just watched, but that Sean decided to just leave out.
Oh great, now she's glorifying obesity. I'm not glorifying anything. My point is simple. Don't be a to fat people. And don't use, oh, I just care about their health, as an excuse. Being fat doesn't automatically mean someone is less healthy or too lazy to look like you or however you think they should look. You don't know these people.
Those are the devil's advocate characters there, advocating for the thing Sean...
Well, that's true. What she's saying there, her video didn't really address that. There are good arguments to be made there. Like, for instance, like, people that tell fat people that, you know, oh, you're healthy at every size, like that's dumb and you're contributing to the harm of fat people. But people who also just bully the fuck out of fat people are also contributing to harm. Like bullying people doesn't make them not fat. If that was true, there would be no fat people. So like bullying somebody to get them to not be fat has about as much chance of working as bullying somebody to make them grow taller. Like it just typically like people's minds just don't work that way. Otherwise, everybody would be a fucking bodybuilder. LeMayo, not at all. Individuals respond differently. What a worthless fucking statement. Like when you write something like that, I'm curious, do you hook like a flexible tube directly from your asshole up into your nose so that every time you fart, you like get high off your own fucking gas? Like why do you bother like typing stuff like that? individuals respond differently. Individuals respond differently. Like, can I walk around like feeding your whole family member, like every family member bleach one at a time until I find one that responds positively to it? Like, yeah, people respond differently to things, but we can generalize human behavior. Generally, bullying is not a good motivator for human behavior. Like, this has been known for a long time. It's not like a debated or a contested topic. You fucking moron. Clearly, as retarded as you are, you'd be infinitely smarter if bullying worked, because I can tell you probably made fun of a lot for how fucking stupid you are.
Out of just $5 a month, which costs less than many of today's cups of coffee in this world. All right, now let's get back to the video. Okay, so the second idea that Sean fabricates in his videos is that Illy tried to deplatform him.
Deplatform me, to try and get me deplatform a smaller creator.
This idea drove the second, more serious wave of harassment, which is what led to Illy's doxing. It was also another one of the explicitly cited motivations.
Health only exists towards certain ends. You only need to be healthy enough to do the things that are important to you in life. If your life goals don't have anything to do with being able to move quickly or live past 75, then you can be healthy at 600 pounds. There can't be objective sense for healthy, only a subjective one towards certain subjective and personal ends. So whatever, I agree with like your message, but the fact that you put 600 pounds means that I don't have any idea what the you're talking about. Yeah. Like if you're like a 5'6" woman, you can probably be like decently healthy at like 140 pounds or whatever, like maybe like a little bit chubby. Like, yeah, you're probably okay, assuming you like move around enough and you do okay cardio or whatever. Like, yeah, you can probably be a little bit overweight and be fine, sure. But 600 pounds like blew the out of whatever point you were trying to make. Like, Jesus Christ.
Of the doxers. Other creators covering the story were very vocally opposed to this idea.
They tried to deplatform. Think before you sleep.
Getting deplatformed when you're an influencer is essentially like being fired.
I am never for deplatforming. People sometimes just don't get it and they want.
Did I say 5'4", 140? Would that be chubby for a woman? I think so.
Deplatform people no matter what.
Don't
that would be.
All right.
And hate to him, by the way, just make sure you harass and deplatform him. 14,000 likes. Just take away his income by completely taking away his channel. 2,000 likes. Is this the channel that's trying to get other channels deplatformed? 5.7 thousand likes. So is this what actually happened? Well, why don't we take a look at the evidence? As I mentioned in the intro, there's only one piece of evidence that Sean has presented for every accusation.
Since this video went live, I've been getting hate comments bombed on my Fat Kid video, on other videos on my channel, as well as on Twitter and Insta. I submitted reports, but it took a while for human review at YouTube. I chatted with the help desk person today, and the live chat help section were helpful. Push your test would sit tight. However, if you or anyone else reading this comes across this video, please report it for cyberbullying. Oh, okay, so she is calling for reports of his video.
She's calling for
well, why don't we take a look at the evidence? As I mentioned in the intro, there's only one piece of evidence that Sean has presented for every accusation he's made here, and that's
what other evidence do you need that is deplatforming other than her saying go report the video?
Yeah.
What other piece of evidence could there possibly be needed?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you need 18 different instances of it? Isn't one enough? I don't understand.
True. You have an opinion on the new physical therapy idea that there is no bad posture? The claim seems wild to me, but it seems like it's being mainstreamed quite a bit despite the evidence being pretty weak. It depends on what you mean. There's not like bad posture for sitting, but there's like optimal posture for doing different things with your body. Like there's optimal posture for walking, for running, for doing different lifts, for like doing certain things. But like for sitting, as long as you feel comfortable, it doesn't matter. Like the idea that you have to like sit straight all the time is retarded. There's no reason that that's like an important thing. If you want to look a certain way, then you can do that, but...
Lee's Tumblr post, specifically its last line, which reads, if you or anyone else comes across this video, please report it for cyberbullying. Now, viewers that are paying attention right now may notice that this post doesn't say anything about deplatforming. This post asks her followers to report the video.
You don't have to say, I'm deplatforming someone to be deplatforming someone, just because you don't use the fucking word. Sure. What does that even mean? What is that argument? This post doesn't say deplatforming.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in the fucking Holocaust, Hitler probably didn't say we're going to exterminate every single fucking Jew, but it still was happening.
Damn.
Post doesn't say anything about deplatforming. This post asks her followers to report the video. Reporting and deplatforming are not the same thing. This is
completely,
because a report can lead to a deplatforming.
Why even make this distinction? Why even make this distinction?
To understand why that is, let's take a minute to walk through how the deplatforming process actually works. This part will be a bit dry, so I'll throw some visuals up on the screen now to keep things interesting for you guys. Enjoy. In order for a YouTube channel to be terminated, it has to receive 3 channel strikes. Channel strikes are usually issued when a video is reported. That report is reviewed, and the reviewers determine that the video has violated the YouTube community guidelines. I say usually because there's quite a few other things that can happen. If, for example, it's your channel's first time violating the guidelines, you'll most likely get let off with a warning. This warning can be dismissed after 90 days by taking a policy training. If a warning is issued, it can be appealed. An appeal is when you argue your case that the video has been flagged by mistake. If the appeal is granted, then the warning is removed and your eligibility for receiving a warning on your next violation will be reset. Sean has alluded to having his finger on the pulse of YouTube's community guidelines.
Just as a quick thing, I don't know if he's going to keep talking, but if he doesn't, he just lied. Because he made it sound like you get 3 strikes and then you're out, and the only exception is sometimes you get 4 strikes. You're going to appeal and get 5 or 6 strikes. He's not talking about the other extreme where you can have a channel nuked in 1 strike. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, that's happening.
If you get a really bad up, you can have your entire channel destroyed. And there's also things, I believe, you can get kicked out of AdSense for unrelated things. I don't know if you need a strike to actually get removed from AdSense.
You can, yeah. They can just take away your
so
monetization.
Him talking about this is he's missing 2.
But he's putting so much faith in YouTube as if like every single case is treated exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And they're always like, the most fair parent where it's like you fuck up once, they're like, okay, make sure you don't do that again. Like with Sneeko, did they give him 3 strikes over the course of time, or did they just say you're gone in one day?
So his framing here is disingenuous at best, but I would say knowing
I think it's dishonest.
He's
a
full lie.
YouTuber.
Yeah, it's a full lie. Unless he goes into it right now, maybe he'll bring it up now. But
guidelines.
Speaking of YouTube rules, and as someone who regularly reads them,
So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a clean record and a warning available to him. I haven't seen him state otherwise. However, if he has violated the guidelines before, then receiving a guilty report would remove his video and give his channel a strike. There's a few other things to go over here, though. Just like the warnings, channel strikes can also be appealed. Were he to receive a strike, Sean would again have the opportunity to argue his case for why he thinks the reviewers got it wrong.
I wonder if he's going to go over this too. A
stupid.
strike also will prevent you. Your first one is uploading for a week or 2 weeks. For the first one, do you
First
know?
one's a week.
A week, yeah. So that's a week. If you upload daily, that's a lot of money. You can't stream also on your channel as well. But okay.
But it's so frustrating. Why is so much faith being put in YouTube? He's like, you can argue your case to YouTube. Yeah, as if at fucking YouTube they're gonna treat every review really fairly. Every appeal is gonna be taken by somebody at YouTube who's a higher up in California who understands the entire process instead of some like Pakistani in a fucking call center that they hired out. Like, what is that realistically? Like, why is so much faith being put in this fucking website?
Sure.
If the appeal he submitted were to be granted, his video would go back up and the strike would be removed from his channel. The important thing here, though, is that even if he had been issued a warning, granted, his video would go back up and the strike would be removed from his channel. The important thing here, though, is that even if he had been issued a warning, appealed the warning, lost the appeal, then received a strike, then appealed that strike and lost that appeal, finally actually getting a strike, that's still not deplatforming. That's step 1 to deplatforming. As I said before,
That's
step
genius
1 to deplatform
analysis.
it. Yeah, he wouldn't apply this standard to anything else. This is stupid.
No, you never
requires
would.
3 channels.
The stronger Noah argument that he could make here if he wasn't a fucking moron should be that like not all deplatforming is bad, and if you feel like somebody's genuinely violated the TOS, then you can genuinely report them. And he should have been making that argument. That's the stronger argument. Like if somebody, maybe you would agree with this, like if somebody made a video where it's like, hey, I'm talking to Tom's friend Jamal, and I'm gonna make a video calling him the N-word for 30 minutes. It'd probably be fair to like, you guys should report that video. He's just like fucking this guy.
Yeah.
Like I think that's fair, and it's technically that's deplatforming, but it's like he's clearly breaking the TOS, and a TOS that like we all agree like you shouldn't do this.
I'm talking to Tom's friend Jamal. You're gonna call my friend the N-word? What is the context?
There's like a guy makes a 30-minute video just calling a dude the N-word over and over again.
Oh.
If some guy was like, yeah, fuck this guy, report him or whatever. Like,
I mean, I think it should stay up on YouTube. I think you should be able to say that.
okay, but I mean, like, I think if you did report him, and even if you said like, fuck, you should report this guy, like, I don't think anybody would. I don't blame you as much.
I mean, given the current standards, I would be like, well, geez, that's that's shocking, right?
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If what?
If that got banned.
Sure, yeah. But I'm saying like even if a guy called for him to like, yeah, report this guy, what the fuck? He just keeps making videos calling me the N-word all day. I don't know if anybody would judge him too harshly. Or if some guy's like, I'm making a video standing at the end of the block where Tom lives, 5 houses down, guys. Like if you saw, they'd be like, yo, report this guy. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Doxing me.
obviously.
Like, yeah, like technically deplatforming isn't necessarily bad. We all agree, everybody agrees there should be some level of deplatforming. But so he should be making the strong argument for why it was okay to spam report his video. Not doing this weird argument of like, well, it wasn't really deplatforming because she didn't use the word deplatforming. And even if it was deplatforming, it wasn't actually deplatforming because it was just the first step of deplatforming. That's fucking retarded.
Goonshud says, I'm permanently curled into a ball due to bad posture. Thanks, Destiny.
Hey.
Channel strikes. What I neglected to mention, though, is that these strikes expire after 90 days. And in order to actually have your channel terminated, you need to get all 3 of them within that same 90 days.
That's not that you can get insta nuked. So, but okay.
He literally just looked up how many strikes has it taken, got the first result on Google.
Yeah,
you can see it. You can see it because he's not even on the actual page. This is the Google search result.
A period. This means that Sean would have to go through this whole process 3 separate times in a period of 3 months or less. This is what YouTube officials refer to as being a very naughty boy. The only possible way he could call Illy's post an attempted deplatforming in good faith is if all those prerequisites had been met, since there's no evidence that even a single one of them.
Also, you can also get people, even if he did go through this process, you could have people that spam report other videos too, and then you get like 3 strikes. Like, so everything you know is saying here is like fucking stupid. Yeah.
As Sean calling Illy's report an attempted deplatforming is at best a very uninformed interpretation of the situation, and at worst dishonest. Either way, it's a Crybaby Olympics gold medal winning complaint, even if her report had resulted in Sean's channel being terminated.
Why this? This is so weird. I just feel it's really fucking weird. He has like semi-nude like pictures of himself as a kid. Is it just fucking weird? I
mean, it's I don't know.
Okay, it's
odd.
fucking weird to me.
That still doesn't make her report an attempted deplatforming. There's a few reasons for that, and I want to go over them now. I know this is a blast going over the rules. We're having fun, but try to contain your excitement because this information is very serious and very important, I think. Learning time.
Like, I don't want you to see a picture of like a kid, like a fucking 4-year-old taking his shirt off. Like, why?
Contain your excitement because this information is very serious and very important.
If it was like just like cute kid pictures, I'd say, well, that's one thing, but like this is just so weird.
So one of the other claims being made to justify this deplatforming accusation is that Illy asked Sean's channel to be mass flagged. She asked for millions of followers to report the video, and this is an especially serious threat to Sean's livelihood.
I told people in her massive 2.5 million person following, my channel is on the line because Alyssa has millions of followers.
But this too is false. In terms of YouTube's review process, mass flagging doesn't actually do anything. The amount of flags that a video receives has no bearing on the reviewer's decisions.
And he's like, here's YouTube saying that's the case.
Yeah.
YouTube's global head of trust and safety, Matt Halpern, explaining that.
It doesn't matter whether there's one flag, 1,000 flags, 10,000 flags. It literally makes no difference into how the evaluation works, whether content should stay up or stay down.
Here's this guy from YouTube's Creator Insider channel saying the same thing.
Sometimes a video with lots of flags is a result of what the team calls brigading, meaning a large group of people have tried to gang up on the video in an attempt to take it down, even though it doesn't violate a policy. Can they take it down? No. Again, all videos are evaluated under the same policies, no matter how many flags they have.
This term, mass flagging, makes it sound like really scary, mass
but
flagging.
I don't understand why he has such faith in the system when like there have been hundreds of cases, maybe thousands of like YouTubers appealing, and then like the video stays down, and then they get a YouTube contact, and then the video goes back up. Like, is that because every reviewer like enforces it fairly?
Sure. And what's the best way to appeal a YouTube strike?
Twitter.
Yep.
It's always on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not
it's
even
never
because
you appeal it, it instantly gets denied. You tweet at them, next day everything's back to normal.
Oh shit! You know Gesticle?
Yeah.
His YouTube channel got single nuked.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that.
Okay, yeah. I'm waiting for you. If he throws up a tweet, I'll retweet it. But yeah,
huge flag, but it's not. It doesn't affect the review decision. The other point here, though, on mass flagging is that even if it did affect the review system, it wouldn't actually matter in this case.
And it's so funny too because if I were to dig through this guy's videos, I bet he's made some fucking comment about like systemic racism or white supremacy, and it's like, well, the people at the school and this person also. He's like, yeah, but they're all lying. We all know that they're secretly racist. We all know blah 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 blah. But when it comes to like the deplatforming things, like, oh no, well they said mass flagging and mass brigading doesn't affect it whatsoever because it happens to support.
Of course, yeah. It's like the least charitable interpretation of TBYS, and then the most charitable interpretation of YouTube. For some, why does he like YouTube? Shouldn't he like hate YouTube?
Yeah.
He's like a leftist. Shouldn't he like hate this like giant conglomerate?
Because this wasn't mass flagging. The figure being thrown around, her 2.5 million subscribers, it's false. It's literally not true. Illy made this post on Tumblr. At the time of posting, her Tumblr account had 2,400 followers. She didn't post about it anywhere on YouTube. This number, 2,400, is less than 0.1% of her YouTube subscribers. Sean must have known this too, because, firstly, even though Tumblr doesn't display followers publicly, followers never transfer evenly between platforms. But mainly because in the screenshot he shows in his video, Illy's post had 97 notes. 97. That's 0.01% of this supposed army of 2.5 million woke orcs.
I agree. It wasn't the same exact number. It wasn't 2.5 million, but it's still a bunch of reports.
Yeah, it is. And then also, but notes.
It's probably 97 reports.
Notes are just like typed replies, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the engagement is going to be a lot higher than 97. The engagement will probably be 10 or 50-fold, right? Like if 10 people comment, probably 100 or 1,000 people have seen it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like if you look at like a YouTube video and there's 5,000 comments, there's not 5,000 videos.
Yeah, sure. Like, the proportion may be different on like Tumblr.
Maybe a little bit, yeah, but still.
Notes, 97. That's 0.01% of this supposed army of 2.5 million woke orcs, warks, that actually even.
But this is like one of his stronger arguments. I don't know why it's buried 22 minutes into the video. He's just like, oh, well, she didn't even post it on our main YouTube video. She posted it on Patreon. It's at least a little bit better. But
it's a strong argument against like something TBYS said, but I feel like it's just a distraction from the main point, which is she did try to deplatform him.
Sure.
The sheer scale at which this number has been exaggerated here is just.
People are saying notes also include likes and reblogs. Okay.
Awe-inspiring. It also makes his repeated whinging about a larger channel bullying him just kind of funny to watch.
Obviously, she doesn't care about bullying because she'll openly call her followers to harass a much smaller creator that has 1/3 of her following. By trying to deplatform a smaller creator,
he's maxing out his Amex Platinum victim card. He's pulling up to the Depression Olympics in a Michael Phelps morph suit. We can see you, man. It's not subtle. The third and final element to this deplatforming.
I mean, a little bit, but also when you do things like this, there is the chance too that it blows up and goes omega viral, right? Like somebody sees it, the right person sees it, and people start making YouTube videos off it and shit, even though you just made it you made a post on your Patreon or Tumblr or whatever, right?
Oh yeah,
so like that's something to keep in mind as well.
I mean, the thing is, I don't blame TBYS for being scared. I'm just saying some of the particular wording, like her millions of followers, like that isn't what happened in this case. So.
Yeah, sure.
Accusation is the implication that Illy was false flagging.
By rallying her audience to falsely flag Think Before You Sleep's video.
Send your fans and friends to false flag another individual.
She was false flagging his channel, being malicious and trying.
So calling it a false flagging is not accurate at all, to be fair.
Why do you think that?
The video
false flagging implies like go spam report all the videos and see if we can hit them on something, or like if you could say somebody's trying to deplatform you and they're trying to like spam report you, but false flagging implies they're reporting you for bullshit reasons.
Do you think it's a bullshit reason?
If bullying is against the YouTube TOS, she's only reporting for bullying. I mean, it's not. You can say it's but when I'm sorry, when I say a bullshit reason, I mean like one that isn't comporting with the TOS at all.
But he didn't bully her.
Well, that's up to YouTube to determine, I guess. Regardless, it's not. This isn't false flagging.
But like
false flagging would be like she's like he in like a video like 10 videos ago, he had like a Hunter x Hunter picture of a guy with a Star of David, like spam reporting for anti-Semitism. That's a false flag.
So you're thinking because she did it in good faith, because she thinks that it's bullying, then it's not a false flag?
Correct. You can still call it attempted deplatform. You call it bullshit, or you can say she's being a piece of shit or whatever. But it's not. That's just going to be false flagging.
Okay, all right.
Take it down for whatever you can.
People make fun of the leafy style gaming background footage, but I like it, to be honest. I think it's fun. A lot of shapes and colors and bright lights on the screen. It's engaging. All right, so Illy was asking people to report his video while knowing that it wasn't reportable. That's the claim. Now, let's first establish that there's no actual evidence for this argument. All of Illy's posts pretty clearly indicate that her intent in flagging the video was to stop the harassment it was and still is causing. None of these posts show her to be knowingly...
I don't know about that. The goal of flagging the video is to stop the harassment. I mean, if you've been a YouTube creator, you know that it's going to Streisand every time.
That's
never in the history has it been like, let's report this video and take it down so it all stops.
That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Like if Noah Samsen or illymation, with this video that he's made, want to stop the harassment that's coming to her, considering the fact that the reason cited was deplatforming, do they think it's going to make it better or worse if they make this video and prolong the drama?
Yeah.
Like, would that improve
for
it?
A false flag. Regardless, though, let's tame this argument. 2 points are being raised for this claim. Number one, Sean's video wasn't actually cyberbullying, so reporting it is malicious.
I know that my video doesn't break any of them in the hate speech policy or the harassment and cyberbullying policy.
The video you're trying to flag does not qualify as harassment.
In no way is the video cyberbullying.
So firstly, whether or not Sean's video actually broke the rules is not your call. It's not my call. It's not your mom's call. You should call your mom, though. It's YouTube's call. YouTube's reviewers decide.
But we can read through the fucking rules and make a basic interpretation.
He's making the worst argument because now Noah is essentially greenlighting false flagging because he's saying it doesn't matter because YouTube will always correctly get something.
Which they never do. I've had
well, they do most of the time they do, but they make mistakes, right?
Okay.
We can't say they never do because if that was the case, everybody would be banned constantly.
Okay, you're right. Okay. But I've seen a lot of examples where they do make mistakes.
Sure. I've gotten my shit flagged and removed 3 different times for COVID misinformation. Even though I'm the most, I've got 20 booster shots.
Right. But YouTube made the decision, so they were right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they make mistakes, but...
That. Their opinion is the only opinion that actually matters. And if what you're saying is true, then why are we whining about it? John has nothing to worry about. The review will come up negative. If it doesn't, then he can appeal. And if he didn't break the rules, then he'll win that appeal. A review coming up negative doesn't prove
this is so stupid. Like why is he so charitable to YouTube? He'll win the appeal.
Yeah.
Like why do you trust YouTube so fucking much?
Yeah. So by his logic, the sleep guy can say, we're going to go and spam report every single video from every left-leaning content creator we don't like, but it's okay because brigading doesn't matter because they'll review it all honestly. And if they do get reviewed, they can appeal it and it'll be good on everything. But that's just stupid, And it doesn't count as false flagging because it's up to YouTube to decide what's against the rules or not, right? So, which also doesn't really make sense because when you report somebody, you have to select a category that you think.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so it doesn't even.
Every negative review ever made would be a false flag, and that's silly. These things happen all the time. Despite its silliness, though, that didn't stop some of these guys from essentially making this same claim.
Do you know what's actually in violation of YouTube's bullying and harassment rules? This Tumblr post.
What she's doing with this post right here does actually break YouTube's terms of service.
Interestingly, Sean doesn't cite the rule that she allegedly broke here, which is why no one else cited it either. They get all of their information from each other's videos and nothing more. Drama YouTube is an epistemological human centipede. I can't find the rule that Sean is referring to here, so let us know when you respond. In the meantime, though, what I have is this screenshot from YouTube support telling Illy that it's okay for her to submit the report, even if she's not 100% positive that it applies. That's an important note here, I guess, is that YouTube literally gave her the green light to do this. I probably could have mentioned that sooner, but there we go. Surprise.
That's I hate this guy. Saying that if I'm submitting an appeal in good faith, will I get in trouble? That's like saying if I go to the police and I report what I think is a suspected sexual assault event, am I going to get in big trouble? And the police no, as long as you're you promise you're testifying to everything that you really truly believe, and you're oh cool, so you can make false rape accusations. What a retarded fucking thing to say. They're still it's dumb.
That's an important note here, I guess, is that YouTube literally gave her the green light to do this. I probably could have mentioned that sooner, but there we go. Surprise, enjoy. So now we're down to just the final argument, which is that Illy's report was false flagging because she didn't even watch the video before reporting it. She went solely off of her friend's biased summary, and that's a false flag because she didn't even know what he said.
Make sure to not watch it before doing that, by the way.
Go and report his video that I didn't even watch up to that point.
She hasn't even watched.
She didn't even watch the video, and she even said this herself.
This last argument is purely a moral one, right? Because it has no grounds within the guidelines. There's nothing in the rules.
This argument, yes, if you haven't seen a video, unless you explicitly know that the reason that you're flagging it is because it's something super clear like doxing or something like that, or targeted harassment, very specific, showing your address or something, you should know what's in the fucking video before you report it.
Yeah, sure.
If somebody just says, oh, they were mean to you, and you're okay, everybody just report the video without even watching it, that's so retarded, especially as a creator.
Yeah. And you're this is deplatforming because it's not even people are organically coming across it is deplatforming. You're saying go spam report this video even though you haven't watched it before. It's a pretty dumb thing to defend.
An eye tracker and play the full thing before you click flag. The moral claim here is that you should hear out the criticism. It's the right thing to do. Until you do, you have no idea what he's saying, whether or not it's actually bullying. And
it's not even that you should hear out the criticism. It's you should listen to the fucking video before you report it.
So I'll just give my opinion.
Yeah,
that's it.
No. No. Illy didn't ask for this criticism. His video was totally unsolicited. That doesn't mean I think Sean shouldn't be allowed to make his video, but I also don't think that Illy should be expected to sit through it either, especially given the immediate abundance of evidence that the video inspired a harassment campaign. It doesn't strike me as some giant leap in logic for her to assume that it may have been made in bad faith. Like, imagine one of your friends comes to you and says, hey, some random 850,000 subscriber YouTube channel made a weird, dishonest, and unnecessarily mean video about you, and that's when you notice the hundreds of comments harassing you for things your friend mentioned being in the video. If you were to then say, yeah, I'm good on that, not worth sitting through that probably.
Stupid. How much more of this? Is there anything relevant in less than a minute? This guy's an idiot.
That's the majority of the
It's just like,
stuff.
this is my friend and I'm going to defend them no matter what, and here are the worst arguments you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah, that's the majority.
That seems like a pretty normal thing.
But now he's made another video about it, and I don't know if Think Before You Sleep has responded yet, but
Think Before You Lie.
Hello, viewers. This video is a follow-up to my previous one, Think Before You Dox. Sean, aka Think Before You Sleep, has responded to it with some claims on Twitter and during a live stream. I'm gonna cut right to the chase here. Sean is doing some suspicious activities right now with all of these claims. Almost immediately after its release, Sean began misrepresenting my video's arguments with strawmans and also just lying in strange, obvious ways. So today we'll be going through these claims one by one. He is apparently working on a response video. However, I have a feeling that if I don't correct these false claims now, then we're gonna end up with a feature-length film of him just trying to argue with me over things I never said. I don't feel like wasting everyone's time having to put you through that, so let's just nip this one in the bud, as whoever says that says. Sean's first claims about my video came in a Twitter thread from April 29th, which is the day after my video's release. Let's start there.
I guess I'll have to talk about it here because I can't say it on YouTube right now. A few minutes ago, I opened up YouTube to a message saying that my first video on illymation has been removed for cyberbullying. I have been accused of harassing someone or using slurs to talk about someone's intrinsic traits. I didn't do that. Anyone who watched the video can see I didn't do that, so I have appealed the video. But it's YouTube, so even though I didn't break the rules, we'll see what happens. Curiously, this occurred shortly after Noah Samsen released a video on me yesterday that was so bad faith that I can't believe he actually hit the upload button. This video, multiple times, accuses me of doxing illymation and encouraging doxing. He basically says I doxed Alyssa in his video title, and his claims in the video get so ridiculous that at 14 minutes he literally accuses me of trying to get Alyssa killed, simply because I made a video saying, I don't like your video, and colluding with your followers to mass flag my channel is messed up.
Alright, so let's just go through these one by one. Sean claims that I accused him of doxing illymation. Sean, come on, man. You know that's not true. I never accused you of doxing her. I never accused you of calling for her doxing either. I actually very clearly stated the opposite, that you both did not ask anyone to dox her. Sean didn't ask anyone to dox or harass Illy, and that I don't think you made your video with the intent of her getting doxed. Do I think that Sean made his video with the intent of Illy getting doxed? No, I don't. Sean here also claims that my video's title is basically a doxing accusation. Maybe I don't have to explain this one, but just in case. Think Before You Dox is a play on words about the fact that she got doxed and the fact that Sean's channel was a part
but
of it.
obviously if you see that fucking title, you're gonna think that you doxed
Before
her.
You Die. Yeah,
when you got her running with the fucking Eye of Sauron shining on her.
That's kind of dumb, but okay.
Process. This title does not specify action or intent. These claims are perplexing, but it seems like they've already started to catch on. Commenters and creators alike are repeating this around the web, saying that I accused him of doxing.
And I think that is one of the most irresponsible and dishonest and malicious things that you can do, is accuse somebody of doxing, because some crazy fucking psychopaths in their audience took things way too far and doxed somebody because they don't like that.
None of them are showing proof or giving timestamps to evidence this claim because they can't, because those don't exist, because this didn't happen. The drama content Human Centipede is back in action, and for it, I am no match, I fear. Next, Sean claims that I accused him of encouraging doxing. He repeats this claim later in the thread. I never used the word encourage to describe Sean's actions, and this isn't just a simple...
I don't understand how these guys are the most academic people in the world who will give you a 27-page essay about what a microaggression is. Like, oh, well, if you go up to a person and you say, your hair is curly today, they've got like 15 different academic papers that they can give you for why you're basically fucking Hitler, and you're engaging in colorism, and you're exclusionary, and you are and doing microaggressions, and there's a black tax on certain hair products, and it's like all these 50 million things. But then when it comes to like criticism of his behavior, it's like, well, did I actually say the actual word encouraging? No, I just said that he happened to use the exact same words that a lot of the people that were doxing her were using, so that you could clearly draw a parallel between the things that he was saying and then the things that the other people were saying, and then they were doxing. But I didn't say he was encouraging it. Or like, did I explicitly say, what was the other one? That he, was one of the one he said. My brain just wiped.
Well, it's like...
No, it was a good example. Help me remember.
Okay.
He said like explicitly, he didn't say, when he was talking about her, and she was like, she didn't explicitly say deplatforming. She just said spam report without watching the video. And it's not actually deplatforming, it's just step one of deplatforming. Fuck out of here. That's so cringe. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I hate this guy. Don't ever ask me to watch any videos from this guy again. I actually hate this dude. He's one of the stupidest fucking people. He does politics too, and his politics videos are equally fucking stupid. You wanna know how stupid this guy is? This guy is probably still recovering from injuries that he received from Vosh in a debate like 3 years ago.
They had a debate?
Yes, and he got so eviscerated after that debate, he said he would never have a debate again. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I had to pause the stream on YouTube because I could not watch.
What was the subject of the debate?
I think Vosh generally had the same contentions as me, that like people that do video essays, no offense, are usually retarded. And that like if you ask them any questions, well, no, you can generally defend yourself. But if you take a video essayist and you get
I'm probably, to be honest with you, I think there is a valid criticism there, because I think when you're making video essays, you can do preparation.
Yes.
You can get stuff to fit your point.
Sure.
And then when you're on your toes and you're directly confronted with the counter arguments and you actually having a conversation with someone, it can be a lot tougher.
Maybe, yeah.
Which is why.
But it'll be like they have nothing to substantiate their points. And basically, he made a whole hit piece video on Vosh about how horrible Vosh was. But Vosh was like, "Oh, we should chat about it." And then in the actual combo, he had like nothing to say. It was just like, it was horrible.
Did he remove the video?
I don't know if he deleted it all, but he said he would never talk to another debate YouTuber or like live stream person debate ever again.
Really? Because so I noticed somebody in chat was saying, "Why don't these losers talk to each other?" I did actually message them asking, and Think Before You Sleep was down, and Noah was like, "No, I'm not going to come on."
Yeah, these guys are bitch made.
Semantic distinction, I don't think. Encouragement to me implies intent. And if that encouragement is coming from Sean himself, as his claim denotes, then it also implies a direct engagement with the audience on that point. He didn't do that though. He didn't allude to harassment at any point, let alone ask for it directly. And I never said he did. Now, do I think that his videos fostered an environment that motivated viewers to harass her? Absolutely. That was sort of my video's whole argument. I supported this argument by going over the 3 ideas that Sean fabricated, showing how he used those fabricated ideas to make inflammatory accusations, both of which were then cited directly by the doxers as their motivations for doxing. Him creating those circumstances doesn't mean that he directly encouraged the doxing himself. The fact that he didn't,
would he say the same thing if we were talking about transphobia? So let's say that I were to go on stream and I were to say, trans people tend to look really ugly. I think most of them are like, they're not like doing the best medical checkups for their hormones. And I think that it can be damaging to children to hear this stuff. And then a whole bunch of people on 4chan start saying like, "Oh yeah, fuck trans people. We hate them, blah, 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 blah." Do you think that he would review my video and go, "Okay, Destiny wasn't being transphobic. Like, I understand he said things that were hurtful and not cool, but he's not being transphobic." But all the other people that were echoing his stuff and then going further, they were being transphobic. No. They would say that you're encouraging transphobia.
Yeah,
you're engaging
obviously.
in transphobia. Yeah, of course. You would never, and they do this with like white supremacy and racism all the time as well, that even if you like vaguely allude to anything, you could say like, "I think that like, I don't follow the Kendrick Drake rap beef or whatever the fuck." It is like, you're racist because of like 27 reasons why they'll like run it down.
That's true.
Like, you're actually supporting white supremacy by not having a strong opinion on this.
That's actually true.
And it's just like, come on, dude, really? I don't know.
That he caused it without encouraging it directly is an important part of this whole situation, I think. If he had directly encouraged it, then he'd be banned, and we wouldn't be talking about this right now. We'd be gaming. Now, if you disagree with me with those examples or that line of thinking, that's fine. However, if you want to argue against those claims, then first we need to be on the same page about what they actually are. If we can't agree upon reality, then any further debate is going to be a complete waste of time. In this same paragraph, Sean claims that I accused him of trying to get illicit.
I like that he's the one saying that. I like that he's the one saying like, we can't agree upon reality. Any debate is a waste of time.
Line of thinking, that's fine. However, if you want to argue against those claims, then first we need to be on the same page about what they actually are. If we can't agree upon reality, then any further debate is going to be a complete waste of time. In this same paragraph, Sean claims that I accused him of trying to get Alyssa killed. He made a similar claim on Tom Dark's live stream on May 2nd.
After basically accusing me of attempted murder, I can't assume that Noah would use any sort of good faith argumentation there.
So where is he getting this idea? Well, in his tweet, he references a sequence from the...
Hold on. Also, wait. When we talk about like...
I mean, I don't know if attempted murder.
Sean claims that I accused him of trying to get Alyssa killed. He made a similar claim on Tom Dark's live stream on May 2nd.
After
to be fair, he did say basically.
What do you mean?
He said... He didn't say he accused me of attempted murder. He said he basically accused me of attempted murder.
Basically accusing me of attempted murder. I can't assume that Noah would use any sort of good faith argument.
He made a similar claim on Tom Dark's live stream on May 2nd.
After basically accusing me of attempted murder, I can't assume that Noah would use any sort of good faith argumentation there.
So where is he getting this idea? Well, in his tweet, he references a sequence from the 14-minute mark of my video. The start of this clip is me reading a post from the doxing thread, and then I go on to my conclusion. I hate this lying Jewish blank with all my heart. She needs to die. The new video she made is promoting childhood obesity. She is a cancer to this world and needs to be rotting 6 feet under the ground. This comment is from the doxing thread. They stated they were going to visit her in California. They said they wanted her dead, and at that...
This is the through line to his video. You made this video
criticizing
it. Here's the people that are doing this. She had to literally flee her house because of your video because people are going to kill her. He's basically accusing the dude of like trying to get her killed. That's now he might not say it, but like that's the through line to the video.
Maybe unintentionally getting her killed, yeah.
You can say unintentionally, sure. But I think that's essentially the through line of what he's arguing.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
At that point, they knew where she lived. Thankfully, Illy was able to move before anything violent happened. But if this person, for example, had taken action, Sean's video very well could have been
the thing is, I don't understand how
listen to what he just said here. Hold on.
Anything violent happened. But if this person, for example, had taken action, Sean's video very well could have been what pushed them over the edge.
Sean, like, what is the assumption there? Yeah, what is the assumption?
You're right.
It basically is accusing him of murder.
Is that he pushed them over the edge.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Noah can make this argument though as a commentary YouTuber, considering like, or just anybody who's critical online, because you have to have an assumption basically at the end of the day that there's going to be some people in the audience that are unhinged, right? So like now is Think Before You Sleep obviously going to make the conclusion that if he sees people in his comment section who are like saying kill yourself, he's going to be like, oh, look at these people that said this is a result of Noah.
Sure.
Should we all go report all of Noah's videos?
Yeah, I think I take a stronger stance on this than you. I think you have a lot of responsibility over your audience, but like It's not even his audience. It's 4chan. This is like people attack me over my audience. I'm like, where? And they'll show me like crazy people on Twitter. It's like, I can't moderate them. I can't do anything. People in my comment section don't say this. People in my chat don't say this. People in any of my chats or any in my Discord don't say this. Like, I can't help with like random people on fucking Twitter. Just like I can't help with random fucking crazy people in Soyjack or 4chan. Like, why the fuck am I being held to account for that audience? And the fact that he can only show comments from there, I think it severely undermines the culpability supposedly that this guy has. Because if it was his video, like pushing people that far, well, shouldn't the comments be reflective in his own audience? But
really doesn't seem interested in paying attention to other people's words. I said, if this person or someone like them had taken action, Sean's video could have been what pushed them over the edge. Sean has distorted this claim into me saying that he tried to get
from his video
or killed. This is just kind of ridiculous, right? My words make no comment on his intent. The idea that his video could push someone into violence doesn't mean that he made it with that goal. I don't believe he did, and I said as much in my video. As far as my actual claim, I'm pretty sure I'm correct. I absolutely believe that his videos could have pushed someone over the edge into violence. This person in the doxing thread clearly hated Illy. Their post was riddled with statements wishing death and injury upon her. The only one that wasn't was
theoretically, yeah, like
the line about her promoting childhood obesity, which was an idea they pulled straight from the conclusion of Sean.
Or what if I like what about, not to get political?
Are you supposed to cater your videos to the expectations of completely unreasonable people who like there's no
again, because you're going outside of the community to find these people, right? And like we could do very modern stuff right now. He's covered a ton of the Israel-Palestine stuff. What if a Jewish protester gets killed by a pro-Palestinian guy? Like, you don't think that any of your rhetoric saying that all Zionists are genocidal, all Zionists are supporting a current genocide, a current apartheid regime, are supporting the death, like, and somebody goes and kills a Jewish person, do you have direct responsibility for that? Like, should you be spam reported and deplatformed? Like, it's dumb. Yeah.
Sean's video. To argue that this could not have led to violence, that seems kind of difficult. If Sean wants to try, though, he can, but first he needs to understand what my argument actually is. Another thing I want to address here is the way that Sean represents my characterization of his video's content. Sean describes his own video as just a little bit of criticism. He claims that all he did was tell Illy, I don't like your video, and colluding with your followers to mass flag my channel is messed up. In this tweet here, he is presenting this diluted description of his video as if it were my own. He positions it as my rationale for the also mischaracterized arguments he attributed to me just before. This is sort of discombobulating, though, right? The entire video I made was an argument against this idea, an argument that what he did was not a mere case of criticism, but one of open malice. So why is he putting these words in my mouth? Well, because he needs to be the victim. If all he'd said was these two innocuous statements, and if I'd responded to them by accusing him of attempted murder, then yeah, he would be the victim. But that's not what happened. Neither of those claims are true. So to maintain
Noah's video went out, Think for His video goes down, he is a victim of that, undoubtedly.
Sure, yeah.
Is that?
But he should be. But he's making the weak. He should be arguing that the deplatformer was good, but he's a coward, so he won't. That's what he should.
His victim status. He has to distort reality. He has to go to school, study hard.
Why not?
Doesn't
Red Suit like deplatforming? Aren't they all cool with that?
It's weird because like a lot of them have like bounced into like illiberal zones. So like when they're far left, like commies and Nazi or commies and
tankies,
commies and tankies and socialists, yeah, they all also claim that they get mass deplatformed. Like people on the far right do.
They don't.
So if you go, so
that's
yeah,
not true.
It's like there's like a support for like deplatforming. Like as you get more left, the support goes up. But then once you hit like the tanky thing, it drops to nothing because you're like, oh no, we could deplatform even more than Nazis do. That's what their arguments are.
Okay.
Maintain his victim status. He has to distort reality. He has to go to school, study hard, and then get a PhD in Strange. Dr. Strange, is this upsetting to you? Should I leave? Moving on to the second tweet thread, which is from the next day. This one begins with a screenshot of YouTube's message to Sean that his second appeal had been rejected.
What a shock. YouTube has yet again decided to change its rules for someone who doesn't have the approved politics and uphold a strike on a video that did not violate its guidelines. The specific wording on the rule they accused me of breaking was use of racial slurs and making fun of intrinsic traits. I did not use any racial slurs and I did not poke fun at any intrinsic traits. Intrinsic traits are things that you cannot change, such as your race or certain facial features. I never comment negatively on people's intrinsic traits because that's messed up. But hey YouTube, if this is the new standard and Noah Samsen seems to think mass flagging is okay because he never denounced it, which is something that every reactor did when they saw the video, even the ones who hate me. Noah spent several minutes gaping from mass flagging and saying it's not that bad. That being said, YouTube, I have 3 videos for you to strike where Noah made fun of my voice, one of which, the entire bit of his video was making fun of the way I talk.
Sean claims that I said that mass flagging isn't that bad. He also concludes that I must think mass flagging is okay because I never denounced it. This isn't true. I never commented one way or another about the morality of mass flagging. I didn't say it was good or bad. And just because I didn't denounce it doesn't mean that I endorse it. My critiques of the mass flagging allegations did not concern morality. They were about ethics. A bunch of people, Sean included, called what she did an attempted deplatforming. I argued that this was false because while
Did he say... I must have misunderstood. He didn't just say that it had nothing to do with morality and it had to do with ethics, right? He didn't just say that. No, I misheard. There's no way that he just said that.
Morality of mass flagging. I didn't say it was good or bad. And just because I didn't denounce it doesn't mean that I endorse it. My critiques of the mass flagging allegations did not concern morality. They were about ethics. A bunch of people, Sean included, called what she did an attempted deplatforming. I argued that this was false because while flagging can lead to deplatforming, that doesn't make these terms interchangeable. The fact that they were wrongfully conflated here was perhaps the biggest contributor to the hate campaign that led to Illy's doxing. On YouTube, wrongfully calling for someone's deplatforming is a serious transgression with serious consequences, as we saw. A bunch of people, Sean included, insinuated that Illy's call for mass flagging was a unique threat to Sean's video being removed. I argued that it wasn't, because from everything I could find, the act of mass flagging does not affect the actual review process itself.
Like I said, from everything I can find, meaning he has absolutely no first-hand or even second-hand experience with having videos. He doesn't know anybody that's had it happen to it, and it's never happened to him before.
The thing is, he says this like, he's like, it's ridiculous to think it's a unique threat. A large content creator is a unique threat to another when they call for deplatforming, when they call for someone to be flagged. That is a unique threat because they have an audience. That was a crazy picture from chat. Yeah.
As in how the YouTube review.
You know who that is?
Nope.
It's Drake.
Whoa.
You didn't know that? You don't know anything about?
No, I didn't know about the rat beef like that.
Decide to rule. A bunch of people, Sean included, claimed that Illy was sending her millions of subscribers to flag his video. I argued that this was false because her flagging post was not made on YouTube, where those millions of subscribers are, but on Tumblr to 0.1% of her audience, in a post that had an engagement rate of 0.01% of that audience. None of these arguments contain a moral claim about whether or not mass flagging is good or bad. They are critiques of the misinformation being spread about it and the exaggerations about the figures that were cited. Now, since my video's release, I've seen a bunch of counter-arguments presented about this section specifically, about deplatforming, and some of them do have merit. I'm not going to be addressing them in this video because they are irrelevant to Sean's claims here, but I plan on doing that in my next video. As for those lines about intrinsic traits, I'm glad Sean brought up the thing about his voice. I see this a lot, both Sean and his fans arguing that the comments making fun of his voice are making fun of an intrinsic characteristic, and thus, by YouTube's guidelines, this is bullying and technically a reportable offense. But this is kind of a sneaky little trick here. Sean's video voice is not an intrinsic characteristic because it's not his actual voice. His actual voice is pretty normal, and he knows that and has admitted as much. Here's him using his normal voice to describe how it is different from his reading voice.
Like, I can't do my reading voice. In fact, I've been trying to change it to my regular voice, but it's difficult. Like, I don't know how I get into that mode. I just have to be very, very, like, I really, really hate recording, so I just have to be...
Is this that different than his
No, it
voice?
sounds the same.
Wait, what the fuck?
It just sounds like he's not reading something out loud.
In the mode where I really don't like what I'm doing, and then that's how I get the higher pitched voice, because your voice will pitch up when you're more tense.
Notice in that clip his claim that he is trying to change his reading voice.
I've been trying to change it to my regular voice.
If you can change it, then it's not immutable, man. So...
Wait, what the fuck? Never mind. No.
You can change being trans, it's not immutable.
Yeah, true, actually. Okay.
To me, it seems like comments about his reading voice fall more under the category of a stylistic critique, criticism to improve the form of his videos. Kind of like when people say that they can't watch my videos because I look like I'm wearing a Joe Dirt Halloween costume and it's distracting. I could fix that for them. I could shave my mullet and my mustache. I'm not going to because I look great, but this is ultimately a critique of form, not of an immutable characteristic. Same goes with Sean's video voice.
It's a critique of form. I disagree with the style of voice. It's so, just don't. I'm serious. Don't ever bring me anywhere. I hate this guy. It's like he's actually like a super fucking waste of time. He's like one of the stupidest.
On the same point about his voice, sorry, I know this is just like stupid, but it's a weird lie that I saw a bunch of people.
This is an example of like the type of person that grows with a community. Like the Zoomer socialism shit got popular, and then this is the kind of like trash that just like comes up with it. Like he has like the most like palatable like bisexual lighting type of like fucking whatever style shit that with like the voice and everything, and he gets like popular off of like. But the actual substance of all of his videos is baseless. It's some of the like worst. It's like not even bad. It's just like nothing. It's just like nothing for even consideration. It's so stupid. Oh, God.
So may as well. Sean claims that I made a video where the entire bit was making fun of how he talks. This is not true. I made a video about a text post that Sean had put on his community tab, and because he didn't make a video about it, it was just text. I had Andrewism read the post because I wanted to have audio, and I like Andrewism's voice a lot. My decision to do this was a product of something that Sean himself suggested. TLDR, people I disagree with are wrong. Also, if you don't want to read it, then use text-to-speech, full screen, a stock image, and it will be just like watching a video of mine. He's got a sense of humor here, which I think that's good. But instead of doing text-to-speech, I had a better idea. I'm going to soothe the audience's ear wounds suffered in the last video by having someone with a smooth, calming voice read Think Before You Sleep's voice lines. Andrewism is the one. He will be doing that today. Hi, Andrewism. Great bit, honestly. So I had a friend with a nice voice read some lines because they needed to be read. It seems a little bit dishonest to characterize that as an entire video making fun of his voice. But again, even if it was, by Sean's own admission, his reading voice is not immutable. Therefore, by his own logic, critiquing it is totally fine to do. The last point I want to address today is a claim from Sean that I said he was responsible for the doxing. He made this claim on the live stream.
Yeah, he's basically saying that. I mean, he said it straight up in the video multiple times that I'm responsible for it. So I don't think, even if you backtracked and gaslighted on and said, oh no, I don't actually believe that, well, you still put it in the video multiple.
Here, that guy said he basically. You want to know what's really funny? Do you know what Noah Samsen is actually doing here? Can somebody in chat guess? Oh my God, this just clicked in my brain. Do you guys know what Noah Samsen is doing here? I want the one person to say it. One person is saying exactly what I'm thinking of. Where are they? Where are they? Somebody say it.
Someone got it.
What did they say?
Gaslighting. You don't think that's it? He's lying. Gamergating. Gooning. Edging.
Nobody?
Dog whistling?
Oh, thank you. Harry has problems. He's doing the Jordan Peterson thing.
What the fuck is that?
So the Jordan Peterson thing is he mindfucked some poor girl on. There was a huge interview he did where he destroyed this woman because she didn't know how to deal with this. But he'll do something like this. He'll go, Jordan Peterson will go, women aren't actually able to work with men in the workplace. And when women are present, it actually makes everybody work worse. And women going to the workplace actually results in them getting raped and sexually assaulted more. And society probably can't function with women in the workplace. And there's absolutely no data to suggest that men and women can work in the workplace. And then the interviewer will go, wow, so are you saying that women shouldn't like be working with men? You're like, I've never said such a thing in my entire life. The news always accuses me of lying about it, and I've never ever said that in my entire life. This is like 2 years of Jordan Peterson's careers. It's stacking descriptive claims until you've reached an obvious edge where any reasonable person would go like, oh shit, well, then it must be this. And all of his fans will make the assumption because they're not retarded, but he'll never say the final point ever. He never says it. And Noah Samsen is doing the exact same type of thing. He's like, well, I didn't say that deplatforming was good or bad, or I didn't say whether he actually encouraged his fans to do that. Well, I didn't say that, but he like lays the through line so that anybody watching the video is going to come away with that opinion. Even like, again, the title of the video, think before you dox. Well, the you isn't him there. I didn't mean him exactly. Like
it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's the exact same type of thing. Yeah, that's why when your friend is like, he's basically saying this, because he knows he didn't actually say that, but he's led you right up to the edge of it, to where essentially that's what every single person is taking away from
that's
the video.
The thing that like perplexed me, because I messaged Noah to ask him to come on, and he was like, no, but you can ask questions, and he was genuinely perplexed after I explained a bit to him. He was like, why is everybody saying that I wanted to deplatform him or support deplatforming?
Mm-hmm.
And it was mind-boggling that he couldn't wrap his head around that.
Yeah.
And so after responding and him being like, okay, I'm kind of like, do you think he might just be retarded and not malicious? Do you think he might just be like really, really dumb? Is that possible?
No. This is very intentional.
You think so?
Yeah. Hold on. This is debate pervertry. What do we call it? Wait. Oh, we didn't think of a name.
Pulling
for
a
this
Jordan
last one.
Peterson?
I like, somebody said Peterson edging. Debate edging.
Peterson edging?
Debate edging.
Sometimes the opposite though. So Sean's claim that I said straight up in the video multiple.
Wait, don't in here. If my alarm goes off, I don't actually approve. Careful, also close the curtain, close it. What am I watching?
Times that he is responsible.
Do you still have a name for the 7th point? No. Well, he goes out and does that. Okay, when you refuse to engage... What do I have engaged? When you refuse to engage with the argument and you just make big sweeping moral/virtue signal statements while avoiding any response to what was previously said. What would we call that? What would we call that? Oh, holier than thou? Preacher. How about the deaf preacher? Oh, I like that one. The deaf preacher. He's not listening to you. He's not listening to you. He's just there to preach. I like that one.
So, they can hear us now?
Okay, Jesus.
Conclusion on the Noah Samsen video. What do we think? How bad is all this?
Pretty dumb. There's 8 minutes left. Do you want to watch the rest, or?
Yeah, let's just speed run it, I guess. We'll do that.
Is false. I never used the word responsible in my video. You might hear say, well, come on, Noah. He's obviously saying that you implied it with statements like Sean's videos caused the doxing. How can his videos cause the doxing without him also being responsible for it? And I think that's a valid question, so let's explore it. When people ask, is Sean responsible for these people's actions? That question can be answered in 2 different ways, from a moral perspective and then from an ethical perspective. When people online...
Why, guys, I don't know. I've never in my life, even people that study philosophy, I don't think make distinctions between ethics and morals. It's such a weird distinction. I don't know. I don't know if he's. I have no idea why he keeps doing this, but whatever.
Responsible for these people's actions. That question can be answered in 2 different ways, from a moral perspective and then from an ethical perspective. When people online ask this question, they're usually asking it at the ethical level, as in not just is he responsible, but also should he be held responsible by YouTube? Should he face consequences, channel strike or deplatforming? That's ethics, right? It concerns the agreed upon rules of being a creator on YouTube. During that stream, we've been looking at Tom Dark. I guess we just call him Turkey, or we just call him Tom. He sent me a message that I think serves as a good example of.
Sounds like he means like when he says ethics, he's just talking about like code of conduct or something. I guess I don't know
how this works.
My biggest question would be if you think that TBY should be held responsible for the actions of a third party side to dox Illy. I agree his video about it was kind of silly, but from my perspective, it's not really his fault. Some people took it too far. Especially considering you never support the kind of behavior from what I've seen. From what I saw, your video was somewhat vague with the wording, or maybe I just find it dumb. You would truly blame him for what they did, but yeah, looking for a more elaboration if you have any.
In response to those questions, I asked a clarifying question, which was held responsible in what sense? Tom then responded with, well, from your perspective, is he responsible and what should YouTube do about it? So there, notice that when I asked him for a single definition of responsibility, he answered it with 2 different questions. Is he responsible and what should YouTube do about it? The latter question is an ethical one, right? Because it concerns platform consequences. If I say yes to that first question, then I do think he's responsible.
I don't think it's necessarily an ethical one. It's just like, what do you think? And then do you think you should just take action?
He's using words. He's just using them incorrectly. But he's trying to say there's a difference between these 2 things, which there is a difference between these 2 things. He's just using words stupidly. But
the thing is, if you're making the case that like his video led to her doxing, what do you think is going to come from that?
Sure. Well, but I mean, like you could ask the question of like, are you responsible for that? But like, should you be punished for it? Those are technically 2 different things, right? Like, I think you should be able to bully people on YouTube, but I don't know if you should be punished for bullying, right?
Do about it. So there, notice that when I asked him for a single definition of responsibility, he answered it with 2 different questions. Is he responsible and what should YouTube do about it? The latter question is an ethical one, right? Because it concerns platform consequences. If I say yes to that first question, that I do think he's responsible, but no to the second, that I don't think he should be held responsible by YouTube, that sounds nonsensical. He's responsible, but shouldn't be held responsible? What are you saying, man? The fuck are you saying, you fucking...
No, his question is super... Oh, is this you? Oh, this is me, you, yeah. Fucking retard. The question makes sense. No, he's retarded, but you're retarded. But you're not retarded for this. I'm just calling you retarded in general.
Okay,
but I'm calling him retarded specifically.
He's also retarded. Question.
Yeah, sure. So what he's saying is, well, from your perspective, is he responsible? And then what should YouTube do about it? Well, these are two separate questions, and it is, and Noah correctly identified that they're two separate questions, but now he's confused because he's like, he's implying that by asking if somebody's responsible, you're necessarily saying that there should be an action taken due to the responsibility, which is funny because a lot of people would assume that, which was the issue, by the way, with Noah's videos. But now Noah's acting like it's not. In one sense, he says they're two separate things, but then he's saying, well, hold on, if this is being responsible, isn't this taking responsibility? Isn't it the same thing? I don't know. I think Noah's just like playing with words here.
Responsible by YouTube? That sounds nonsensical. He's responsible, but shouldn't be held responsible? What are you saying, man?
Also, those are two separate things. Being responsible for something is different than being held responsible for something. So even saying that that's they're two separate sentences. Even saying that these things don't make sense, like, well, are you responsible for the whatever? Or let's say somebody says this, okay? There was a serial killer in 1972 who was responsible for 30 different killings and he was never caught. And then somebody's like, wow, you're saying he was held responsible for that? And you go, no, I didn't say he was held responsible. I said he was responsible.
No, that's what he did.
Yeah, those are two separate things. Clearly, those are two separate things. Like, sorry.
The fuck are you saying, you fucking idiot? It's not, though, if we're on the same page about what these questions mean. My issue with this framing is that blame and responsibility are treated as a binary. Either you are or you aren't. I think situations like these are gray areas that are worth exploring. Obviously, he didn't ask anyone to dox her.
Yeah, the gray area is worth exploring. So the question I'm asking is, what do you think? And he's like, well, it's a gray area.
With his videos, he created the conditions under which something like that was very likely to happen. My decision to make no claims as to what YouTube should do about it was intentional. I didn't comment on the validity of a report, let alone ask for the video's removal, because my opinion on those things is irrelevant to my critiques. I just addressed the circumstances around it and why I think a lot of the claims made about the situation were false. Not only false, but super inflammatory, like his claims that her videos will end up killing fat people or endangering her child audience. Is it not worth it to examine why the people on the third-party site all shared motivations that were pulled directly from his videos? If my arguments about how he conjured those narratives are correct, then wouldn't that put at least some responsibility on him for this chain of events, given that the things he, in my opinion, fabricated were their main...
Well, then he is suggesting that argument. He's doing the what do we call it? He's debate edging. You are getting him right there. Like, well, wouldn't you say that he would do that if he's like leading to the chain of events? If he's like this is what he's doing with this video, then why deny it? Why not just say this then? Just like say this part out loud. Don't imply it and then run from it like a fucking coward when you get called out on it.
Motivations. Tom then summarizes my messages to Sean.
So he's basically saying he believes you fabricated stuff about her, therefore they did this, therefore you are partially responsible, is basically what he's saying.
So he adds that qualifying word of partially, which is a more accurate summary of my claims, because it includes the caveat that I'm not saying that Sean is responsible in a definitive sense, one that would necessitate some kind of punishment. When he responds, though, Sean ignores that qualifier.
Yeah, he's basically saying that. I mean, he said it straight up in the video multiple times that I'm responsible for it, so I don't think, even if you backtracked and gaslighted on and said, oh, no, I don't actually believe that, well, you still put in the video multiple times, so you obviously do.
This is exactly why I did not use that word, responsible. Because while, yes, I do think Sean is responsible, absolutely. If I'd said so, if I'd used that word, then he would have immediately taken that as me saying...
Wait, so
why
he's saying it here now?
No, and also, like,
I don't actually think that, but I also do think that.
Because I didn't use the word. Like, we need to go to somebody's house and, like, cut their throat. You want to kill somebody?
No. I don't want to cut their throat.
What do you think cutting throat is? You've never had a cut in your throat before? You think that always kills somebody? Like, what are you talking about?
They could live.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's up to their body what happens.
And maybe
their body
we just
wants to be
mean,
able to
like,
retain that blood for longer.
Give them a lot of Captain Crunch that they don't, like, chew all the way so that it cuts their throat on the way down. Like, what do you... It's such a nonsense point. Like, everybody knows what you mean. Like, and the fact that he literally just confirmed what he meant...
Yeah. Oh. I don't know why he like danced around it for so long when now he's saying yes.
Even though I never claimed that he broke the rules, never called for his deplatforming, never argued for his video's removal, and never even commented one way or another on the validity of Illy's report. Despite that, though, we can see that he's already doing that.
I said it straight up in the video multiple times that I'm responsible for it.
And based on the claims he's made here, he's definitely going to do it in the video, which is precisely why I decided to make this one. I'm here to try to do some discourse.
Wait. What he just did is so retarded. He's like, now in my first video, I never said that he is responsible. I do think he's responsible, but I don't know why he said that.
Even though everything in my video led to it clearly.
Even though everything in my video, ultimately led to that conclusion.
Also, by the way, you can do this if you want, what Noah is doing. I think it's actually okay to do it, but you have to be aware of what you're doing, and you need to say that. Like, there are times when I'll say, like, yeah, I think that this didn't necessarily break the rules and blah, 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 blah. I do think it was a shitty thing for him to do. Like, I'll clarify when it's obvious, like, if I'm saying, well, somebody's not breaking the rules here, but it was probably a shitty thing to do. Like, I'll clarify, because I know that when I say somebody's not breaking the rules, the implications and, like, co-signing the behavior. So I'll try to clarify, because I know that that's what people are going to run with it. But to just say this, like, did O.J. Simpson kill, what was it, Jessica Simpson? What the fuck was the name of the one? I don't even know. Did I just make that up?
Woman. I don't know her fucking name.
Am I making that name up? Did I just make that name up, or did I recall that from some deep part of my memory? Does anybody have any idea? And I say, let's say that shut the
Marge Simpson.
Shut up!
No, they're right. It's Marge.
Kill yourself. Nicole Brown. Okay, I don't know where the fuck Jessica Simpson came from. Nicole Brown. Okay. If I were to say something like, I think that O.J. Simpson, I'm glad that he was acquitted of all charges. The implication there is that I'm signing off on his behavior. But if I were to say, like, I think O.J. should have been acquitted of his charges because the cops didn't go about collecting the evidence in the right way. Probably killed her, but he should have been acquitted of the charges. That's a way different statement. Even though I'm functionally saying the same thing, the implication of the first is obvious and knowable and preventable. I can like hedge that, right? Yeah, but.
Put out other people's dumpster fires for them, and I can already smell it, and I see the smoke. I want the smoke, okay, but not the stinky doo-doo dumpster smoke. No, thank you. Thank you, but no. Thank you, but no.
I think this is a dangerous road to walk down where creators are held responsible for the actions of their audience, because there could easily be a case in the near future where Noah paints a narrative about someone, whether he's correct or not, and then somebody doxes them, and then he is now held responsible.
If I lied to make a narrative about someone and that ended up with them getting doxed, then I could absolutely be responsible for that. Could I be?
Wait, if I lie, hold on. It's so stupid. Do you understand do you know why what he just said was stupid? Do you want to take a stab at it?
Okay, does every lie warrant doxing?
No, it's even dumber than that. Let's say I tell the truth about somebody and they dox them. Does that suddenly make it okay? The truthfulness of your claim has nothing to do with whether or not somebody's getting doxed and if it's good or bad. Like, imagine that it comes out that his claim was actually 100% true. Now you're okay with somebody getting doxed because of things you've said? Like, what if I come out and I say, Noah Samsen looks like he has a mullet. Here's his address, boys. Is it okay because my statement is true? It's a bizarre, nonsense statement.
Okay, to be clear, that's the same argument I made, just, the natural conclusion, but whatever.
Yeah, true.
You're a genius. And then he is now held responsible.
If I lied to make a narrative about someone and that ended up with them getting doxed, then I could absolutely be responsible for that. Could I be held responsible though? As in by YouTube, channel struck, or deplatformed? Well, that depends on whether or not I broke the rules. If I did, then yes. If not, then no. But that shouldn't then erase any and all forms of responsibility that I have for those consequences just because I didn't break the rules. But that's how it happens. That's how people...
He didn't talk about any other way to hold somebody responsible besides going over the reporting thing, right? Like...
will treat it. In Sean's case, I think he acted in a deeply freakish manner and caused the doxing. But since he did so, apparently without breaking the rules, then on the responsibility
binary,
binary,
he just said caused the doxing here, right? He did
acted
just
in a
say
deeply
that.
freakish manner and caused the doxing. But since he did so, apparently but that's how it happens. That's how people treat it. In Sean's case, I think he acted in a deeply freakish manner and caused the doxing. But since he did so, apparently without breaking the rules, then on the responsibility binary, he is at 0. And 0.
So, yeah, I hate this guy. God, I hate this guy.
Means that he's a beautiful, perfect, sweet angel that has done no wrong ever. And given everything I showed in the prior video, that doesn't seem like the most accurate characterization of his role in the story, which is why the binary sucks. Many such cases. Sean has in prior videos spoken about the importance of being open to engaging with alternate perspectives.
When you're watching this stuff, you cannot watch it as if you're only watching it to crap on every point the person makes. You need to watch this stuff and interpret their ideas as if you were the person trying to explain them. Because if you're just sitting there taking the worst interpretations of everything they say, then you aren't helping yourself. You'll learn nothing by doing that because your closed-mindedness will prevent their ideas from causing you to critically think about your own ideas, which is the whole point of engaging with opposition. We all have ideas that are wrong, and the only way to find the right ones is to listen to people who will challenge what we believe.
I agree with everything he said there. However, given how he has already decided to publicly mutilate my video's criticism beyond recognition to make some truly wild, unsubstantiated claims,
basically accusing me of attempted murder,
I'm a bit skeptical that he will stick to his supposed principles here. But now that my critiques are out there, we can await his response in peace, excitedly and gleefully, with keen eyes, ready to look out for the sneaky tactics we saw on display today. The topic is apparently my journalistic integrity, whatever that is. So look forward to that. I'll have a response to the wider commentary community's criticisms soon. I'm actually weirdly hopeful that might yield some positive discourse. I don't know, who knows. Apologies about the shirtless 9-year-old version of me from the last video. That was perhaps the most polarizing artistic decision ever made by anyone in history, but ultimately it had to be abandoned, just so you can all watch my videos without having to turn your screen's brightness down to 0 so people don't think you're some type of pervert. I'll be back on camera soon enough though, but in the meantime, you get the purple guy. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Also, thanks to everyone who supported Illy's GoFundMe. The goal was reached within the first 2 days, so that's super cool. Check out my Patreon if you want all that stuff, and yeah, bye.
I think another form of debate pervertry that Noah engages in that you'd have a hard time with is we didn't think of a name for this one. Let's get a name for this one real quick, guys. Your opponent never seeming to be able to summarize your position ever. You constantly have to criticize or refuse to accept any other characterization of your position. What would we call this one, guys? Get a name for it.
Someone said something about misnaming.
What about it?
Your mom.
The clown mirror.
The cedar bucket.
I love that one. The clown mirror. That's a good one.
Spade is a spade. Broken mirror is low-key good. I think clown mirror is more memorable, probably.
Clown mirror is good. You're doing the clown mirror right now.
You got to bring these up in debates, and people are going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You just don't explain it. Wow, that was really bad.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you got to see it, and I'm glad August gets to clip this for YouTube now.
Yeah, never again. Okay.
Always.
Never Noah.
Next time I'm back, Noah Samsen is gonna have a new video. We're gonna watch it.
Never this guy. My God. Okay, I love you guys. We'll be back in a few hours. Some guy donated $50. Had a great time on @lolcallive chatting with @Keemstar and @Boogie2988. Always laugh with such a great show, and now I get to help with preparing it. Hope to get to talk with @Wargidips some more next time around. Show's only getting better and better. Who is this guy? Was this a mistake, Dono, for $50?
I don't know why he put that here. Wargo is Wings of Redemption.
Oh, who's video games?
I think I know who this guy is. I don't know why he's donating that to your stream.
Is he talking about you? Like a thing that you just did?
I haven't done the LolCal podcast in like a long time.
Holy shit. Is he this guy? Is it this channel?
It's this channel, but this is like his old aggregate channel, and I don't know why he's. I don't know why he donated you. I don't know. I have no idea why he put that there.
Okay. I'll let you guys have fun. Be careful. I'll be back in a bit. I gotta take Tom to the airport because I love him.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Oh, add mods to your Twitter community? Oh yeah, real quick. I made a Twitter community finally. I need some mods though to clear out the gripers, okay? Because they're trying to infest everything. Yeah. Wait, let me find my thing. 5.2 thousand members already. Nice. There you go. Have fun. Good luck. Be careful. Anybody that wants to be mod, let me know. I'll pay you $3,000 a month, a week, okay, to mod my community. That's absolutely real. Be careful. Bye. Email right to bear arms for that application.